to call the game this evening, but right now we're joined, and we're happy to be joined by Mr. Kyle Britt of Petal, and we're going to talk a little football. Kyle, how you doing this evening? You ready for this ball game?
Being ready. Just glad that the weather passed out with Hurricane Isaac, and just looking forward to a good Friday night football after playing Saturday nights the past 2 weeks. Nothing beats Friday night football.
Not only that, it's also good to be home. Petal's excited. They've got their 8,500 seat stadium here. Should be rocking. Tough loss last week. Coach Boyles will be ready. Got his troops ready. A short week with a couple days off because of the weather. But they're going to have a good test again tonight.
They sure are. Madison Central comes in tonight ranked in the top 10 of the Super 10. That's one thing about the Petal Panthers. Their non-region schedule is probably one of the toughest ones in the state. Madison Central last year made it to the North State semifinals before losing a close game to Olive Branch, who eventually we played in the state championship. So we played them last year up in Madison Central. It was a 28-24 ball game. Madison Central scored a late touchdown to go up by 4. And, we didn't have enough time, really, no timeouts to get downfield and take the lead. But tough loss up there, but hopefully we can return the favor this year.
I agree. I'm looking forward to seeing which team. It's hard to believe early in the season that one of these two teams is going to drop to 1 and 2 in the early going. Of course, Madison Central coming in with some high aspirations in the North State this year. A lot of people picked them to give South Panola a run for their money. They're coming in with a mark of 1 and 1. Of course, they lost their opener, a heartbreaker at Olive Branch, 31-28. Were victorious last week at home against Starkville and looked really good in the 24-8 win.
They sure did. Starkville, the defending North 5A champs, they actually beat Madison Central last year. And Madison Central with a new look offense this year. The quarterback Jake Schwartz, who comes in more of a passing style offense, where last year the Jaguars ran the power game against us, tried to grind it out, get 3 yards in a pile of dirt behind their big offensive line. This year they're kind of spreading it out. They're passing a lot more, and hopefully we may see some of that, because I think we match up better against a passing offense than we do a running game. Picayune, nothing to take away from them. They got excellent running game, but hopefully we see a little bit more passing game, because we had success against Wayne County, put some pressure on the quarterback and got to the receivers before they got the ball a lot of times.
Yeah, I agree. And if there's any weakness with this Madison Central defense, it appears to be their secondary. And that could be some good news. We saw the connection, especially last week, that relationship really starting to grow between Barker and Reeves. That post that they ran in the first half, where they were very successful last week, and that could be there a lot again this evening.
It sure could. Jamarcus had a big game this past week against Picayune. But one thing about the Petal offense, if you put too much emphasis on trying to shut down Jamarcus, you got Jesse Jackson on the other side, who's
right.
I would say he's just as good. He's an excellent receiver as well, and he's capable of making some big plays and catching a long ball from Larson as well.
And the great thing Barker has to work with this year, and that's another thing I love. Tommy Hudson and I spoke about last week. Unfortunately, Tommy, we wish you well. Tommy, our color analyst from last week, he's going to be off this week. We'll have him back next week. Tommy, if you can hear us, we miss you. Be careful out there. Having an offensive coach the likes of Todd Pinkston really helps these receivers learn the game and really maximize their potential. I can't say enough about how good of a job he does as a receivers coach for this team.
Oh, Todd does a great job. He's been with the program. He's a former NFL player for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he brings experience, both college and in the NFL experience. And one thing about Todd, his dad also was a coach, so he brings a little bit of coaching background as well.
Up in Forest.
And up in Forest, that's correct. And Todd's just a great guy, great role model for the kids, and he's the type of guy that every program would love to have, and we're lucky to have him here at Petal.
Well, we're excited this evening to be able to bring this one to you. Once again, the Madison Central Jaguars, with a record of 1-1, invade the Petal Panther Stadium. Petal coming in with a mark of 1-1 also. We're about 12 minutes from kickoff, and the seats are filling up nicely. A lot of red and white on the home side, and it should be a good night. Let's hope this weather can stay away, Kyle. It's been a tough week, of course. Petal coming off of a short week, playing Saturday night on the road about an hour south of here against Picayune. Of course, they lost that game 56-35, and they've had a lot of breaks in the action this week from working out, practicing, because of all the bad weather and the inclement weather that's come through the area.
Yeah, that's a big issue. Coach Boyles, he was thinking about possibly moving the game to Saturday if we weren't able to practice yesterday. But luckily, the rains kind of died down yesterday. Even though we did not have school, the team was able to get to campus and practice for about 2 hours yesterday and get in a lot of last-minute adjustments. And we're lucky we were able to get that in. Also, early in the week, Tuesday, which we let out school early, we got an early morning practice in that day as Coach Boyles and the staff got some of our players here early. So we got 3 days of practice this week. We weren't able to practice Wednesday, obviously, because of Hurricane Isaac. But, I think our guys are going to be ready. They're going to be ready to bounce back. And it's what it's all about here tonight on Friday nights.
And what we're going to do now is, of course, without our sponsors for the radio and internet show, none of this would be possible, Kyle. So we're going to go ahead and we'd like to thank our sponsors. We're going to run through the list of our sponsors quick. Thank you to A1 Graphics, Bucco's Cleaners, Coca-Cola of Hattiesburg, Corner Market, ELTM, which is an Enbridge company, Encore Rehabilitation, Fairley Construction, First Southern Bank, Forest County Board of Supervisors, Fox's Pizza, Grand Bank, Hattiesburg Oral Surgery, Hub City Steel, Magnolia State Bank, Marino Eye Care, Paris Jewelers, Petal Harvey Baptist Church, Petal Tire, Southern Bone and Joint Specialists. Of course, Southern Bone and Joint Specialists are proud to be the sports medicine physicians for the Petal Panthers. State Farm Insurance of Petal, which is Ted Cannon is the agent over there, Reynolds Dental Clinic, Richardson Heating and Air, and the DeLoa Smith All-Star team of Keller Williams bringing you home again and again. We can't say enough, and thank you to our sponsors. We're going to take a short break so some of our sponsors can identify themselves. We're going to throw it back to the studio. Barbara, if we'll send it back to you, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes as we get closer to kickoff. You're listening to Petal Panther Football on 93.1 WGDQ. We're going to keep it here, folks. We're going to have the national anthem now performed here before the Petal game.
The color guard for the game this evening are cadets from our newly formed Petal High School U.S. Army Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps, Panther Battalion. Carrying the national flag is Cadet Jessica Stewart. Guarding the national flag is Cadet Ben Fagan. Carrying the state flag is Cadet Kenyatta McGill. And guarding the state flag is Cadet Austin Heath.
Tater, you back on.
Petal High School, just in time for our national anthem. Our national anthem will be performed here before the Petal and Madison Central Jaguars football game. So we'll turn it over now to our national anthem. There's the national anthem for you tonight by the Petal Marching Band, all superior Petal Marching Band. Kyle, we can't say enough about these kids and how good of a band they are year in, year out. They're fantastic. Get back to the game for just a minute. We're about 5 minutes from kickoff. I know we were speaking before the game about Madison Central and their head coach Bobby Hall at his 5 state championship games. Interesting connection with the Petal Panthers, isn't there? Why don't you elaborate a little bit on that?
There sure is. Coach Bobby Hall was the high school coach for our head coach Marcus Boyles back at Raleigh High School over in Smith County. All 4 years he was in high school. In addition, Coach Boyles' first high school coaching job was with Coach Boyles at Louisville High School, and later on, Coach Boyles replaced Bobby Hall at the job that he just previously left at Wayne County. So there's a lot of connections there. Coach Bobby Hall, probably one of the more well-known and established coaches in the state of Mississippi with 5 state championships, and wherever he's been, he's coached at the Division I level, he's coached junior college, he coached the semi-pro team in Tupelo as well, the Tupelo Fire Ants. So he's been all over, so he's a winner, and that's the tough thing about when you play a Bobby Hall team. They're going to be tough to beat.
Kyle, that was very, very well done. You're a plethora of knowledge. The Petal Panthers are lining up their captains for tonight's game. Those captains are Dwayne McIntyre, number 2, number 32, Bo Waits, number 76, Big Bo Barham, and number 82, Justin Mack, as they come out for the ceremonial coin toss. And just before that, as we prepare for kickoff here, I'd like to congratulate Tori Cahill as the Academic Achievement Panther for Petal Primary School. Tori is the daughter of Bridget and Michael Cahill. She's in the 2nd grade at Petal Primary School in Mrs. Laurie Wallace's room. Tori is a huge Petal Panther fan. So congratulations to Tori for all the hard work that she does at Petal Primary. She'll be announced and recognized here at the stadium at halftime. So we just definitely want to send a shout out to her and congratulate her. Job well done. Kids, stay in school if you're listening, and continued excellence to her. And we also want to send a special thank you to Dickey's Barbecue Pit for providing the food for the press box this evening. Dickey's is located conveniently in Petal Highway 42. Their phone number is 601-602-3478. So thank you so much, Dickey's Barbecue, for providing the meal for tonight's ball game. And we're just about to turn it over to Travis Ulrich, who will be along for color commentary. Kyle, we appreciate you. Any party shots? What are you looking forward to in a nice ball game?
We're looking forward to a lot of smash mouth football. You know, the team that makes the fewest mistakes wins this ball game. Last year we played, we just had one more turnover than Madison Central that proved to be the difference last year. Hopefully with home field advantage, we'll be the team forcing the turnover, and hopefully we'll come away with a win and a close one. But I'll be back at halftime with plenty of scores. Got the Twitter updates going. Looking forward to giving you a lot of scores at halftime.
Sounds great. We appreciate you, Kyle. We'll see you at halftime. We're going to bring Travis in here for some color analysis. Travis, good to have you along. Petal has won the toss. They've elected to receive, so Petal will receive the ball. What do you think we're looking for here for Petal to get off to a good start tonight?
Well, I think we're probably going to see a lot of that well-done offense that they've been showing us the past 2 games. Mainly, I would like to see a lot more of their passing done. They've shown that they can do a really good job, as you talked about with Kyle, running that nice post pass. And that's been really successful so far. And maybe we'll get to see a little bit of that running that Rain has shown us he's capable of in the first game against Wayne County.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm interested to see how this relationship with Barker and Reeves materializes. The two of them seem to have something extremely special. And it was a joy to watch last week, especially in the first half. Unfortunately, the Picayune Maroon Tide did a heck of a job and made some great adjustments at halftime. I mean, that game last week was 21-21 when we went in the locker room. Both teams basically scoring on all 3 possessions, and then it was just all Picayune in the second half. So I'm sure Coach Boyles has looked at the film. He's talked to his team, done some other things, and they're going to be prepared tonight. I'm looking for a huge bounce-back game with a raucous. Looks like we're really filling up here, Travis. We're getting full, and I'm really excited about this home opener tonight. It's always good to be home in this beautiful stadium.
Oh, I'm telling you, the brand new stadium we have. This is our 2nd year we're going to be using it, and the fans have done a pretty good job of filling it up the past couple seasons.
Well, I'll tell you. Well made point, and looking around the region at these other stadiums, unfortunately, we wish everybody the best of luck if you're listening out there. We hope that you didn't have too much damage, too much water from the storm that just passed. But these other schools are literally, a lot of the fields are underwater, right. And this turf, I mean, you can look out there, you don't see any what even look like slick spots. This turf, what a great job all around from the field itself to the turf. just installed properly and well, and it looks like it's just drained beautifully. So it's allowing us to play football on Friday night. Not everybody can say that tonight. Most of the games were pushed to tomorrow.
That's right. And, it's pretty impressive because we actually did have a pretty nice rain shower come through maybe an hour or two before the game even started. And like you said, you can't even tell that it even rained. I mean, it's very well, I guess, laid out. I'm not sure about the specifics of the actual.
They have a very high-tech drainage system in place here, similar to what they have across town at Oak Grove, and these fields really, I mean, I hate to say it, you get what you pay for, but the money that was invested here was well spent, and this field really is draining beautifully, and it's really nice to see. So we're just about set for kickoff. Madison Central comes out in their orange pants with their white jerseys with orange trim. Petal wearing all red this evening with their official white helmets. Helmets are the kids on the sideline have their helmets up in the air, ready to go for kickoff. And here it comes, and we are underway. It's an end-over-end kick coming down. It'll be Reeves inside his own 5, across the 15. There's a little bit of room there as he tries to get outside. Good job by Madison Central to snuff that out. Forward progress will be stopped just across the 20. So Travis, Petal will start this drive from their own 21.
Hopefully, like we were saying earlier, we can take advantage of our pretty high-powered passing game, and I think we're looking for an overall really good game.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. It's a battle of two of the best 6A teams in the state, no doubt. Both teams are ranked in the top 12 in the state. Petal, of course, down to number 11 after last week's loss to Picayune. Madison Central is actually the highest-ranked team in the state with 1 loss. So it should be interesting. Double receiver split left and right. Rain split just to the right of Barkern. Quick release pass out in the flat is caught. It's going to be a gain of about 3 on the play. Big number 20 on the catch. And he is, John Wyndham, we can't say enough of how he fits into this offense. Just really that X factor.
Right. And the main thing is they have so many receivers that are able to get their hands on the ball, bring it down, get some yardage, and importantly, set up pretty nicely for the run.
But right off the bat, they open it up with a pass, and they're going to go with double receivers out to the left. Rain again slotted just to the right, and there is a flag here on the second play. Wait on the call here. Looks like a encroachment penalty. Free 5 yards. It's against Madison Central. So we'll march off instead of 2nd and 7. We're looking at 2nd and 2. And anytime you can get in 2nd down in short yardage, that just opens up your playbook that much more.
Well, yeah, we'll take all the free yardage we can get to, no doubt about that.
And Coach Boyles, everywhere he's coached, especially when he was at up in Waynesboro, he really stressed discipline, and it's very important. So Petal will come out at 2nd down and 2. Handoff to Rain up the middle. Not much doing just across the 30. Gain of maybe a yard. It's going to set up 3rd and short. So it's a 1-yard gain, Travis. This is going to be a big 3rd down early. I know for Petal's confidence, they really would like to move the chains and pick up a 1st down early. As they blow the whistle, ball is set for play. On the keeper, great fake by Barkern as he bounces outside across the 33-yard line. He'll fall forward progress to the 35. That's going to move the chains. That's a 1st down for Petal.
I'm not going to lie, he fooled me there for half a second.
Anytime you get in that 3rd down and short yardage, it really, again, it's just like 2nd down. It opens up that playbook to allow you to go to that play action pass and kind of get the defense, moving in one direction, and they did it perfectly. He actually dropped the football there. Hard count up front. It looks like this may be another penalty against Madison Central, which would be great as a side judge trots in and has his hand on his hips. This may be another free 5 yards.
We know Madison Central is definitely not happy about starting out the game with 2 penalties costing them 10 yards already, and it hasn't been more than a couple minutes into the game.
That's right. Petal's explosive enough on offense. They don't need Madison Central does not need to give their defense any bigger holes to fill. Here's a pass out in the flat to Reeves. Look at the explosiveness. I mean, he's just, you give him an inch and he's going to take a mile. Beautiful pitch and catch for Reeves. Out across the 50. This is going to move the chains. This play is going to go for a gain of about 17 yards and a Petal 1st down into Madison Central territory at the 47-yard line.
He's one of those that you cannot let be open, and unfortunately enough for Madison Central, he had plenty of room. So that definitely worked out well for the Panthers.
Good sign of things to come for Petals. 10 minutes remaining in the 1st quarter. We're scoreless. The first drive of the game for either team. Here's a delayed draw to Rain inside. He'll pick up about 2 down to the 45.
Number 9, Tyus Ray. He's tackled by number 56 of the Jaguars, Joe Green.
So it looks like Petal coming out, what they want to do is they want to try and establish the ground game just a little bit and keep those short passes, run those slants. I wouldn't be surprised at some point tonight to see them take a shot, as I mentioned earlier, the defensive backs. We've heard maybe the soft spot of this Madison Central defense. So Barker on 2nd down and 8 is going to keep it, rolling out to his left. Beautiful play up front. A host of tacklers in for Madison Central. In on that play, number 41, J.P. Higgins, the junior. Nice play up front.
Well, and while the Panthers may not be getting many yards right now on the run, they're doing a good job of making Madison Central constantly guess as to what the Panthers are going to be doing.
That's right. So it's 3rd down and 8 from the 45-yard line. Barker's in shotgun. He's got double receivers split out to the right. 3-step drop, firing down the seam. There it is, Reeves with a catch, a broken tackle, another broken tackle inside the 30. He's got the end. He's inside the 25-yard line, dancing, just great balance. This youngster, it shows the explosiveness and those nice soft hands and a great job to stay on his feet inside the 25. Great first drive. Petal looks like they're in form.
Well, Barkin, I believe, is 3 for 3 already to start off the game. Obviously, he's got something on his jersey that makes him slip, and that definitely helped us out a lot.
Yeah, don't say that too loud. They may want to check his jersey for some Crisco or something, but a great job. Reeves definitely is incredible up front. Another flag on this play. It looks like this may be another encroachment penalty. We'll have to wait on the signal as the side judge trots out to midfield. This time it is actually going to go as a false start against the Panthers. So the first penalty of the game against Petal. So instead of 1st down and 10 at the 22, they'll back it up 5 yards to the 27. 8 minutes, 32 seconds remaining on the big scoreboard here in the first quarter. We're scoreless. This is the first drive of the ball game.
5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
So Barker will look over at the sideline. Boyles will call in the play. Rain will be split just to the right as Barker's in shotgun again. Double receivers out to the right side. This play will be a draw. There's some room. Rain up the middle. He's going to go all the way to the end zone for a 27-yard touchdown. As soon as he broke through that line, the way Petal had that play designed with receivers heading towards the out-of-bounds sides on both sides, left the middle of the field wide open, and Rain exploded up the middle for 27 yards into the end zone.
The offensive line did a great job of trying to open up that gap. He broke one tackle, and as we saw, he just had open fields, and that was a great play by the entire offense.
Absolutely. So Reynolds will be on to attempt the point after. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 8:08 remaining on the clock in the first quarter. Your Petal Panthers 7, Madison Central 0. And what a great job bouncing back after giving up 56 points last week at Picayune to mark 79 yards right down the field, basically, in just under 4 minutes into the end zone and take a 7-0 lead.
Like you were talking about, we did have maybe a little bit of a confidence issue leading out of the last game, but so it's good to see that we're starting off very strong, definitely removing any concerns that any of us had. So I'm glad we're starting off strong, going ahead and getting that 7 points before Madison Central.
And you can see, I mean, that was just a great balance, running the football and also throwing the ball. As you mentioned, Barker 3 for 3 on that drive, really keeping this defense off balance. And when Petal has what I like to call that two-headed monster where they can get you on the ground and through the air, it really is going to keep this defense honest. And that's just a great sign, we hope, of things to come. Great opening drive, scripted problem. I'm sure that they had those plays scripted. A lot of teams will script their first 15 or 20 offensive plays. And Boyles, that was just what the doctor ordered. A 79-yard drive capped off by a 27-yard touchdown run by number 9, big Tyus Rain. And so Tristan Reynolds on to kick off for Petal. Madison Central looking for their first possession. This ball is going to float into the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 20. It's a touchback, so Madison Central will start at their own 20-yard line.
That's one thing that sometimes gets a little bit overlooked. Reynolds, 9 times out of 10, will put the ball into the end zone, and at least in high school play, having them or denying them the ability to return the ball oftentimes helps out a lot.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, anytime you have to make a team go 80 yards every time, it definitely helps your defense. It helps your special teams. It keeps you fresh. It's one less hit that your kids have to tackle that your kids have to make. And Tommy Hudson was funny last week. First 2 kickoffs of the game last week were short of the end zone, and he was excited when they reached the end zone after that. Pass play out, the first play of the game for Madison Central, 20-yard post pass, out is incomplete, falling incomplete. Good coverage on that play by the Panthers.
And one thing I would like to point out, I'm sure Boyles did have a talk with his defense, but in their defense, they did have a monster over at Picayune last week.
Well, I've been calling high school football games for about 8 years, 8 of the last 10 years in Mississippi, and that's one of the best tailbacks I've seen. The 2nd down and 10 pass, by Jake Schwartz, the senior quarterback for Madison Central, is incomplete. It was intended for Keith Williams, the speedster, on the outside. So good job by Petal, just like that. 2 plays, 0 yards against this Panther defense. And Madison Central finds himself in an interesting first possession here on their 3rd play from scrimmage. Being that it's 3rd and 10, they don't want to give the ball right back to the Panthers. They like to try and pick up a few first downs and move the chains and keep the ball a little bit, get that defensive rest. They're going to run quarterback draw. There is a little bit of room up the middle. The quarterback is just shy of the 30. The 30 was the yard of gain for the first down. Schwartz appears to be about a yard short. What do you think?
Well, if I were the coach, I would not go for it this early in the game. I would go ahead and send out the special teams, go ahead and punt the ball away. You don't really want to give the Panthers any more momentum, but I believe it would be more of a risk to go ahead and go for it this early in the game.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. It is a 9-yard pickup by Schwartz on the ground. He'll be about a yard shy. So with 4th and 1, Madison Central has elected to punt it away. It'll be Zach Trainum as he rolls to his right. There is a flag down. That's going to be interesting on the near side to see who that's against. It's a low, wobbly kick. It will take a Madison Central bounce. They'll down at about the 26-yard line, but we have to check the flag. Let's see. The umpire and the side judge are going to talk about it out at about the 45-yard line. The flag's down just inside the 30. Did you see anything up front on the line of scrimmage there?
Not that I could tell. The one thing I was concerned about, I didn't know if it was going to be a trick play or not. He ran so far over here towards the sideline, I wasn't sure if he was pulling any trickery there. But
you'll see a lot of these.
It wasn't the case.
And it is a false start penalty against Madison Central. I think a lot of people on the Petal sideline holding their breath. Had that been a defensive penalty on 4th down and 1, that would have given Madison Central the automatic first down. But Petal is going to go ahead. It was a good punt. Let's face it, it was a net of 24 and 21. It was a 45-yard punt. So they're going to back them up 5 yards, put the ball back at the 24-yard line. This will bring up 4th down and 6, and send the punting unit for Madison Central back out. So Trainum will do it again. You see a lot of this now in high school football, these soccer-style kickers that'll catch the ball on one of the sidelines, and they'll try to over 5, 6, 7 yards before they kick it, as they get that momentum moving a little bit more, and right. they'll boot it that way. A little unorthodox for some of the older football fans, but it is a trend that we see a lot. We have a timeout on the field. Our score once again is Petal 7, Madison Central nothing. If you're just joining us, 7:04 remaining in the first quarter. Petal took the opening kickoff and marched 79 yards into the end zone on just 9 plays, capped off by a 27-yard touchdown run by number 9, Tyus Rank. So this has to make Coach Boyles happy. You come out, you get the ball to start the game, you march 79 yards down the field, you score an opening touchdown on your first possession, and you make the opposing Madison Central team, who, let's face it, this is a really strong football team year in, year out, and you make them go 3 and out. I mean, that's just you couldn't have drawn up a better start to this game for your Petal Panthers.
Oh, definitely. And, I mean, we're not out of the first quarter yet. We still have 7 minutes, and they've already burned one of their timeouts.
Yeah, they looked a little disheveled, and I'm not sure I know the Jackson area where Madison is. They got a lot of bad weather, a lot of rain as well. So I'm not sure how their practice schedule worked out this week. We talked in the pregame about Petals. Here's a low line drive kick. You got to be really careful with that. That ball didn't get more than 5 yards off the ground, and a dangerous pickup on the play for Petal. Number 8, Trevor Williams.
We have another flag on the play as well. So.
There is I see that. Thank you. Back to the 24-yard line. Ooh, that was a scary kick. You're running down the field with your back to the ball, and a ball doesn't get more than 5, 6, 7 yards off the turf. Another false start penalty against Madison Central. This penalty will be declined. So Petal will take the ball at their own 42-yard line. That was only a net of 34 yards on that punt. So good field position for the Panthers to take over at their own 42.
And you were talking about that ball didn't go more than 10 yards off the ground, but that the way he kicks it is the roll it gets after it touches is just, it kind of works out in his favor a little more than you would expect it to be.
Yeah, it's something we're going to have to watch later. We'll hope some of these Petal kids, as they're running down the field, they don't take the ball in the back. Of course, that would be a live football. It could go as a fumble, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that as play unfolds. 6:53 remaining first quarter. It's 7-0 Petal. From the 42-yard line. They love this set as Barker will go in a shotgun with Rain to his right, double receivers out right, single to the left. This will be a delayed draw. Rain up the middle, slipping out of another tackle. He'll fall forward to about the 49-yard line. There's another 7 yards on first down.
And you were talking about that play. The Panthers have been so versatile with that formation. They have the ability to pass, the ability to run. And as we were stating earlier, it just keeps the defense guessing, which so far has proved to work.
You're exactly right. We have another score from the area, 7-7 tie in Ellisville as Northeast Jones and South Jones are tied late in the first quarter of that game. 2nd down and 3 passes out to Reeves in the flat. Forward progress into Madison Central territory at about the 49. It's going to bring up 3rd and a yard, maybe a yard and a half. You can't say enough about the arm. I mean, obviously, we talked last week about the Barker's shoes that he's coming in to have to fill with Anthony Alford, but you can't say enough about his arm. And there's something that he didn't like out there while he was broke the huddle here. So Petal's going to go ahead and use their first timeout with 6:01 remaining in the first quarter. Petal leading 7-0. Big play upcoming for Madison Central. Don't you agree? 3rd and 1.
Oh, absolutely. They have to stop the Panthers here. Otherwise, the momentum, I think, is just going to be just a little bit too much this early in the game. It's definitely a great start for the Panthers. The Panthers do have a pretty good 3rd down conversion ratio. So I would think that we're gonna make this play and hopefully keep the momentum going our way.
Yeah, I would like to think that they can pick up a yard and a half here on 3rd down and short from just across midfield. But you have to look at simple math. 7-0 Petal. Should they be able to march down here and score and go up 14-0? And that, yes, it is still early. That it's midway through the first quarter. But if you can make a team one-dimensional and you can take away, especially in high school football, you can really take away a running game on a team. It really is going to help your defense.
Oh, absolutely.
So Petal will march back out on the field following the timeout. Ready to go. That big offensive line doing a great job early on here tonight. Two receivers split out to the right in the slot. Rain will take the handoff. And he has a first down and more inside the 45. Forward progress down close to the 40. Move the chains. There you go. Just like you said, they were able to pick up about 8 yards to move the chains and another first down for the Panthers.
Well, one thing about Rain, and we saw this a lot at Wayne County, is he will get hit at the line of scrimmage, but he keeps his legs moving and is able to just drive for more yards, and it works. So
yeah, he's got that low center of gravity. He's extremely strong, and he's able to bounce off of tackles from the 41. Moving from our right to our left, a quarterback keeper for Barkin, and he's going to pick up about 5 yards on first down. Clock ticking down. We have 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Petal leading 7-0. Again, as they move from our right to our left. And Coach Boyle sees something with this defense of Madison Central that he's trying to attack, and he's going to go ahead and go in no huddle. Once again, two receivers split out to the left. They're going to just flip-flop depending on the hash that they're on, it looks like. Barker, quick three-step drop pass out in the flat is incomplete. A little bit off balance there with Reeves. It looked like he wanted Reeves to run an out, and he ran a post. Threw it a little bit behind him. It's incomplete, so it'll bring up 3rd and 5.
He may have been due because I believe that's his first incomplete pass of the game. So I think go ahead and get that one out of the system and keep moving downfield.
And you can't say enough about this wide receiver. Revis is just a top-notch receiver, one of the best in the area, no doubt. Pass is going to be intercepted. He was looking for the big receiver again. Pass, a beautiful catch on defense by the defensive back for Madison Central, Jeffrey Pate. It's picked off. The first turnover of the ball game will be back at the 15-yard line. And they were a little out of sync there on those last two pass plays, but if you're going to have a turnover, that's the place in the field where you'll want to do that. So Madison Central will be back up deep inside their own end, back at the 15. What do you see on that pass?
Well, like you were saying, it seems like there's maybe just a little bit of miscommunication on the past two plays with the incomplete pass and then the interception. So I think they're probably going to go over to the sidelines, maybe rehash what they're doing and get things straightened out.
Well, Madison Central for the first play following the handoff under a heavy rush. Pass out in the flat is complete. The hookup was Jake Schwartz, and it looks like Keith Williams underneath, and this is a pitch and catch will go for about 7 yards. So the biggest play from scrimmage tonight for Madison Central is a 7-yard pickup. Up to the 22-yard line, will bring up 2nd down and 3. And that catch, by the way, for Madison Central, I apologize, was Jakari Easley. Handoff on the right side. Not much running room. Gain of about 2, maybe 3. It's going to be close to the first down stick. So Boyle will pick up about 3. We'll have to wait on the signal. They are going to rule it enough for a first down at the 25-yard line.
I mean, it could be just me, but it seems like we're having a little bit of easier time on defense today, especially against the running game.
Well, once you face a young man like Dito last week in Picayune, that's going to go a long way to only make this defense better. Yes, they gave up a lot of yards on the ground last week, Petal did, but it's only, like I said, it's going to make them better. And some of the other backs are going to see this year that are not nearly as talented as Dito. It's really going to make them stay in their focus and make some good tackles. Right when we say that on cue, a huge opening on the left side, pushing the pile for Madison Central out across the 45. That's big number 28 for Madison Central, Brandon Collins, the senior tailback. And that's the way to move the football. Just a great job up front by this huge offensive line. I mean, you can look here from the press box at how big the offensive line of Madison Central is. They're anchored by that big number 72 out front, Maury Bland, and also number 76, Jimmy Terry, 350 pounds. We have a flag down on the first down play here for Madison Central. It's going to be a sideline warning against Petal. So it's it'll go as a warning basically, and if it happens again, it's a penalty. Sideline warning against Petal. I didn't see anything going on. I guess they're talking to one of the coaches on the sideline about being out of the coach's box.
Well, from what we've seen so far, we definitely know Boyles is a little more animated than Buckley, I would say. So I'm not sure if he was the culprit this time.
First down pass out in the flat completed, and again, yes, it is a 3-yard pickup for Madison Central up to midfield, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 7, but a great job of wrapping up the tackle. If you can give up 3 yards on a pass play, you're doing a good job. So a good job by the linebackers of the Petal Panthers that time to make the tackle at the 50-yard line and limit them to only 3 yards.
Oh, absolutely. As soon as he caught the ball, there was a Panther player there to make the tackle, so that was well executed.
Schwartz and shotgun, draw play, quarterback keeper up the middle, trying to run over some of these Panthers and does a good job of picking up 10 yards down to the Panther 40-yard line. That's going to move the chains. That's a first down for Madison Central.
Well, they've been doing pretty well with their running game so far, so a little bit of deja vu going on. Hopefully we haven't seen anything too damaging just yet. But, like we've said earlier, this is still early in the game. We have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter.
That's right. Here's a handoff right side. Host of tacklers in on the play for Petal, along with, in there is Jalen Boney. We saw him make quite a few tackles last week at Picayune, and he's picking up right where he left off last week. It is going to go for a gain of about 7. So 2nd down and 3. Madison Central appears on this drive now to be picking up bigger chunks of yardage. So Petal trying to stiffen a little bit here as Madison Central is getting closer to the red zone. Another option play. Tailback inside the 30, spinning down to the 20-yard line. Number 28, Brandon Collins. And Madison Central's really establishing that line of scrimmage on this drive. Again, anchored by big number 76, Jimmy Terry. That's 6'4", 350, only a junior. But when you go up against a kid who's 6'4", 350, I don't care who you are. That's a mountain of a man, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And just not only him, their entire offensive line is just in sync right now.
From the 20-yard line, Madison Central on the quarterback keeper. Schwartz, not much doing. Good job up front by this Petal defense. In on the tackle there, Forrest Harvey and big number 7 again, Jalen Boney. So a good job up front by Petal, limiting the quarterback to only 1 yard on the keeper. So the Jaguars are in the red zone from the 19, 2nd down and 9. Jake Schwartz is in shotgun. He's going to actually call a timeout. Didn't like what he saw from this Petal defense. And with 1 minute and 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Petal leading 7-0. What do you think about the early action?
Well, I think we've seen a pretty good offense on both sides. Granted, interception not so great, but they did a good job of at least moving the ball downfield. Defenses so far, the Panthers, I like the way they're playing. They're playing a little bit more solidly than they were last week over at Picayune. So I would say so far this is generally an improvement over last week.
Yeah, I have to agree. It'd be nice if they can get a stop here. 2nd down and 9. This is a big defensive play. It's going to really dictate on this next play what Madison Central is going to do on their 3rd down play. Should it get to 3rd down as we come back from the timeout. Madison Central again moving from our left to our right, trying to tie the scores. Petal leading 7-0. Schwartz is in shotgun. They're going to run that handoff, that same trap draw play down to the 15-yard line. A good tackle made by Rashawn Smith. Did a great job only limiting the tailback to a gain of only 4. Brandon Collins looked like he had some running room there and was really snuffed out and shut down by Smith.
And this is a big down because if they don't make any, if they don't get at least 5 yards here, I'm not so sure that they're just going to have to go for the field goal.
That's right, from the 15-yard line. Off the right side, they do stop him. Great job up front. Who's in on the play for Petal? Let's see, it looks like big number 46 is in there. That's Forrest Harvey and a few other gentlemen. Forrest Harvey's had a great series here. He's made 3, maybe 4 good tackles. And from the 15-yard line, it looks like Madison Central is going to line up to go for it.
Well, that's a pretty big gamble. I'm not so sure if it'll pay off.
Well, as you can hear at home, the crowd comes to life. They're on their feet, 4th down and 5. Quarterback opts pass into the end zone, wide open on the pitch and catch. They ran that fake inside, and 9 of the Petal Panthers unfortunately bid on it. Pass was completed out to Fred Gray, and it goes for a 15-yard touchdown on 4th down. Unfortunately, we have a Panther injured down at about the 17-yard line. What'd you see on that pitch and catch?
Well, I think, like you were saying, I think we may have just fallen for it, and just unfortunately, Gray, I believe you said, who was the receiver, he was unfortunately just wide open in the end zone. That was almost as an effortless pass as you can get. So,
yeah, it was, and they had run that same play, that trap draw play several times, and Petal unfortunately bid on that fake. And when their quarterback Schwartz kind of rolled around to his left a little bit, he saw Gray wide open, and that was a pretty easy pitch and catch. He was wide open into the end zone, and we are an extra point away from a tie ball game. Unfortunately, our prayers are with the young man down here for Petal on the field. Looks like the injured Petal Panther is number 60, Jaron Guy, the big nose tackle, who had a fantastic game last week. I can't say enough about how hard he played, and he's up, and it looks like he's walking under his own power. So that's a good sign.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he did it. Last week as I reviewed the game, and I called it, of course, with Tommy Hudson. I couldn't get over how good of a job he did in the middle of that defense, anchoring that defense.
I mean, just especially against the running game that they had. He was a very integral component of trying to shut that down.
And I apologize. That was actually number 68, Tyone McCray. So glad to see he's okay. But the extra point is up, and it is good. We have 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Our score, Petal 7 and Madison Central 7. Great first quarter of action. Can't say enough, Travis, about how good both sides have played so far. Reminds me a little bit of last week, kind of back and forth. Both offenses very, very strong. And it's going to be an interesting possession here for Petal. Let's see how they can answer that touchdown.
Well, the one thing I do like that I'm seeing is, fortunately, you know, we're spending a little bit more time on defense and offense instead of having just a couple big plays and then it kind of changing at halftime. So
that's right. The Picayune at one point last week in the second half, they had scored 3 touchdowns on 4 offensive plays. So they were a very quick strike. Petal's getting a chance to really assert their defense a little bit more. And we'll just have to see. Momentum is so big in high school football. We'll have to see what happens from here on out. Once again, if you're just tuning in, Petal scored first on their first possession of the ball game. Madison Central just answered. There's 12 seconds remaining. And Trevor Williams is set to, Nick Bracey is set to kick off for Madison Central. From the 5-yard line, up the middle with some room. This one is going to the house. I'm looking back to see if there's any flags down. Wow. Revis does such a great job exploding down the middle, basically untouched. That's a 95-yard kickoff return as our clock expires. 95 yards straight up the seam. Great blocking up front by the Panthers. And just like that, we talk about a quick strike trying to get back in the end zone. You can't do it any quicker than that.
Oh, without a doubt. That was just beautiful, the blocks that the Panthers had. And man, he's fast. He has some wheels.
Well, Rev, I've heard people say that, rev the engines. He's just exploded up the middle. Beautiful, untouched, to the house, 95 yards as the Petal Panthers now line up. Your Petal Panthers, Tristan Reynolds is on for the extra point. Late substitution here for Madison Central. It's a good snap, it's a good hold, and it's a perfect kick. And with no time remaining in the first quarter following the 95-yard kickoff return for touchdown, Petal leading Madison Central 14-7. At this point now, we're going to throw it back to our studio for this commercial break. You're listening to Petal Panther football on 93.1. The Panthers leading 14-7. Barbara, back to you. All right, back to start the second quarter of action here from Petal. Our score, Petal Panthers leading 14-7 over Madison Central. The opening kickoff went for a touchback, so Madison Central will start from their own 20. And the first play from scrimmage here on this drive is a pitch out to the right. Nothing doing. Petal with good pursuit in the backfield, a loss of 1.
And fortunately enough for us, we didn't give them the same opportunity that they gave us on the kickoff. So we started out, gave them position on the 20-yard line. Defense showed up this possession. It's a good start, and hopefully we'll keep that up throughout this possession.
Absolutely. As Madison Central is in shotgun, Schwartz with bunch receivers tripped out to the left. Pass over the middle, caught. This one is a foot race inside the 30, 25, 20, 15, caught from behind. great job by Petal to not give up on the play. Number 25, Aaron Bajoy with a great tackle down deep. That pass over the middle was caught. Beautiful touch pass. It's going to be spotted all the way down at the Panthers' 10-yard line. That play is going to go 71 yards on the pitch and catch. It'll be 1st and goal.
I'm not so sure that he could have thrown that ball any better. I mean, that was threading the needle. He could not have put that in there any more perfectly than he did.
The beautiful thing about that route is that was a post route that he let develop a little bit more than normal. So when he threw it, he basically threw it from one hash to the other hash. And of course, in high school football, the hashes are a lot further apart than college and pro football. So from the 10-yard line, handoff up the middle with room. Number 28, Brandon Collins inside the 5. Several Panthers in on the tackle. Trevor Williams among the Panthers in on the tackle. It's going to bring up 2nd down and goal from the 3, with 10 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Again, Petal leading 14-7. Schwartz in shotgun. Inside, looking for the end zone, and finding the end zone is Brandon Collins with the equalizing touchdown just like that. 4 plays, 80 yards into the end zone, and Petal has to be a little bit disappointed. Talk about quick strike offense. In just a minute and 40 seconds, Travis, of game time, we just had 2 touchdowns.
Unfortunately, we've seen this before. So, it's crazy how fast things can turn around and how fast things happen in football.
So Nick Bracey, the Jaguars kicker, is on for the extra point. Again, 10 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the second quarter. There's some movement on the left side of the line for Petal. It looked like Rebis came across the line. The call is offsides against Petal, so this will move the ball half the distance to the goal line. And let's see what Madison Central elects to do. It looks like they're probably going to go for 1. It's still early in the ball game. From inside the 2. There's the official call. Penalty is declined. So they'll leave the ball at the 3-yard line, and they will line up to try and do it again.
We actually saw Boyles made the same call against Wayne County, so I think maybe they're a little more comfortable.
Kicking from this distance, you get used to these 20-yard field goals. There's the extra point. The kick is a low line drive. It's straight through the middle. And with 10:35 remaining in the first half, our score is Petal 14 and Madison Central 14.
Well, just like that, a couple bang plays, and you don't like to have it happen, but unfortunately that's the way it falls sometimes.
Well, these teams really showing the depth of how much talent and speed they have. I mean, Petal came out and had a good ball possession, grinded out drive of 9 plays, 80 yards. Madison Central answered on their second possession to march the ball down the field, 85 yards on about 11 or 12 plays into the end zone to tie it. And then, of course, the kickoff return for a touchdown by Revis. And then, of course, now Madison Central 4 plays, 80 yards. So these teams really showing what they're made of and how fast they are.
Oh, absolutely. And if anything, they're giving us a good game to watch. So it's not a dull, boring, protracted game. There's some action going on.
Yeah, after last week's 91 points combined, that was exciting to watch that as well. And I wish it would have, come out on the other end, right. Of course. But it was definitely an exciting ball game to watch. So Madison Central lining up to kick off. This one's all, again, that's advertised. There's so much talent. Tommy and I spoke about it last week, the talent and the depth of these 6A schools this year. It's been so top-heavy. You knew South Panola was going to be good year in, year out. Meridian was going to be good. Oak Grove was going to be good. Petal would be good. But there's really a lot of talent in 6A.
Definitely.
Here's the kickoff. Looks like their kicker slipped just a little bit. The ball's going to go into the end zone, and it will come out to the 20 with a touchback. So just to get back just a moment ago, I know you definitely you agree with that statement that 6A is just a powerhouse?
Oh, I think so. There's so many teams, and it's not like we don't know who those teams are. It's every single year you've got people like Petal, Oak Grove, South Panola. I mean, it's just just a great bunch of 6A football teams.
That's right, and now you throw teams like Biloxi in the mix. Pascagoula's off to a good start, or excuse me, they're 5A. But Brandon's off to a fast start, and they look like they have a lot of talent. Madison Central's right there. So there's some Olive Branch. I mean, there's a lot of really good 6A programs around the state. Play action pass. Good job. Revis caught it, and he fumbled the football. It looks like Madison Central signaling that they got the ball on the turnover. We're waiting on the official signal. They're going to rule it as second down. Huge break for this Panthers offense. Not very Revis-like to have that happen, but of course when he made that move, it looked like the ball just kind of got stripped out of his hands.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. I think we did catch a break there because I almost thought for certain that Madison Central did come up with the ball. We caught a break there, and hopefully we'll try not to make that mistake again.
Well, it's always a good thing if you can have that happen and you can pounce on top of it. Good job, good awareness by the Panthers to fall on the football. So second down and 6. Rain on the give to the left side, and he's going to be stacked up behind the line of scrimmage back at the 21. This is going to be a loss of 3. Good job up front by Madison Central. In on the tackle for them, number 40. That's Frederick Ross.
Off on the play, 3rd and 9 for Petal.
So the Panthers, 3rd and 9, clock ticking, 9:35 remaining in the second quarter. 14-14 our score. Not a capacity crowd for a home opener. I guess the weather's keeping some people away, especially on the far sideline. It's kind of a light crowd for Madison Central, but it's a good night for football. 3-step drop Barker, underneath, pass complete. First down yardage for the Panthers. Kyle Reynolds on the catch. A gain of 10 and a first down.
Beautiful pass, beautiful catch. And kind of going back to the fan situation, I think sometimes we might get a little comfortable with how well Petal travels, and we try and kind of hold everybody else up to that standard as well. And that's pretty thankful to be part of that kind of a community.
That's exactly right. Of course, last week bringing out the estimated over 3,000 people to Picayune. Barker on the pitch. That looked like a forward lateral. We'll have to wait and see. It looks like the ball went out of bounds. It did. Another lucky break. They called that a live football. It's no gain on the play. The ball will be out of bounds at the 31-yard line. That play kind of developed a little bit slowly. Well, they're actually going to spot the ball back at the 30, so it's going to go as a loss of 1. That'll be a fumble loss of 1 out of bounds for a 1-yard loss.
Another lucky break, that's for sure.
Well, if you want that if that's got to happen, you want it to happen on your sideline. Unfortunately, you don't want that to happen, but it's second down and 11 for Petal, moving from our left to our right. Good job by Barker on the fake and the keep, but another great job up front. Madison Central is staying at home, and what they're really doing, it looks like, is they're trying to guess run, Travis, or guessing run. And they have 8 guys up in the box, and they're sending their linebackers, and they're keeping them at home. So what happened when Barker spun out of there was no room for anywhere really for him to go.
Right, and they're doing a great job of getting back to the quarterback and the running back very quickly. We saw Barking did a good job of getting out of there. It looked like he put in a lot of effort and got back to about the line of scrimmage.
He did. He got that yard back. There is a flag down on the play. It looks like an offsides call going against Madison Central. So instead of 3rd and 10, that'll be a big help for this Petal offense. They'll march the ball up to the 36-yard line, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Well, they've helped us out a couple times so far with that encroachment. So.
Hey, and on that far sideline, Coach Bobby Hall, as long as he's been around the game, it's stuff like that. When you can get a team in 3rd and long, it makes you very upset as a coach. To 3rd and 5 is a whole different ball of wax. You're looking at a whole different play package you can call and pick up 5 yards. You can run the ball now easily. Barker running that slant. He had Revis over the middle. Unfortunately, it's incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down and 5. It looks like he had the ball. He got hit as the ball arrived. What did you see on that play?
I saw about the same thing. I'm not sure if he just didn't quite put his hands enough onto the ball in order to bring it in. Maybe he heard some footsteps. I'm not sure, because that's a pretty dangerous area up there when you're jumping up for the ball and you have a defender right there. So.
Yeah, they did a good job of reading that post. The play looked like it was maybe just a split second late in developing, and they're going to drop Reynolds back. On 4th down and 5 to punt. He'll stand just inside his own 25-yard line. Good snap. It's a good high punt. coming down inside the 40. Will actually take a huge Madison Central. That looked like a sand wedge, how that ball landed and just backed up. There was so much spin on it. That ball landed almost at the 35-yard line and backed up, came back towards the Petal kicker, or punter rather, back at the 50-yard line.
And unfortunately, we did have Panthers there. Just the bounce it took was just a
perfect
great bounce for them.
Sure.
But,
Petal had two of their downfield players. They were about 4 or 5 yards apart, and the ball literally split them in half, came right in between the two of them. And Madison Central now with great field position. And that hurts. That was a net 14-yard punt following that little mishap there where the ball backed up. And it looked just like a sand wedge. At least how a sand wedge should look, not like one of my sand wedges.
Right.
From the 50-yard line, right side, picking up about 5 yards on the carry is Brandon Collins. And he's starting to rack up yardage here in the early going.
Well, like you said before, they just have some pretty big guys on the line of scrimmage. So it's not so surprising that they're starting to kind of figure out what exactly they were doing wrong in the first quarter. So I think this is probably what we're going to be expecting out of them for the rest of the game.
Right. If you're just joining us, we're ticking down towards 7.5 remaining in the second quarter. 14-14 our score. Madison Central with the ball. Beautiful play on the pitch. Well done for Petal, number 2 on the play. That's big, Dwayne McIntyre. He's a senior linebacker. We haven't mentioned his name a whole lot tonight, but he is sideline to sideline. He can make a lot of plays for this Petal defense.
Definitely, and like we saw right there, he read that play absolutely perfectly. He watched it develop, anticipated the pitch, and made the play.
That was a loss of 3, 5'10", 184. I mean, he looks to me like a prototypical outside linebacker at the next level. And I know he's definitely making a name for himself here in that Petal defense. So 3rd down and 9 from the 49. It's going to be a wide receiver option inside on the draw. Great job again up front by Petal. They've stopped them. It was a gain of only 3 down to about the 45-yard line, maybe the 46. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 6.
I think that was important to stop them there because they did have a little bit of momentum. I know we've talked about that a lot so far, but it is very important. So getting Madison Central to punt the ball away, I believe, is very advantageous to the Panthers.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Great job. It's 4th and 6 from the 46-yard line. Petal has to really be proud of their efforts there. 6 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Zach Trainham back to kick. Gets it off. It's a line drive kick that's going to bounce inside the 5 and find its way into the end zone. Great effort down there by Madison Central as they try to down it inside the 5. But it'll bring it out to the 20 with 6:03 remaining. Travis, it's 14-14. What do you think about Petal's efforts this far?
Well, so far, I think if we can just minimize some of the mistakes we made, that interception, a couple of the pitches, we did have a fumble that was recovered by the Panthers. I think if we can eliminate just a couple of those mistakes, I think we'll be reaching almost our full potential. I think we've kind of harmed ourselves more than Madison Central has actually harmed us.
I agree. I've seen this Madison Central team several times over the last several years, of course. If you're a Mississippi State Bulldog fan, you're well aware Tyler Russell, the quarterback of Mississippi State, is a Madison Central graduate, and it was a pleasure watching him play at Petal and at Oak Grove as a junior and a senior, and at Hattiesburg I got to see him play and call a game or two of his. Not the same Madison Central team perhaps that we're accustomed to seeing. Definitely strong, and of course in the North State, 6A is kind of a scary monster. Of course, with the likes of Olive Branch, the likes of Starkville, likes of South Panola. But should be interesting to see how this year unravels, as we've mentioned several times, with the depth of 6A. So these teams could meet again. If they meet again, you know what it would mean. That would be in the state championship game.
You're right.
There you go. First down pass out in the flat is caught on the reception, taking a knee down for progress to the 25-yard line. For Petal is Kyle Reynolds. That's a good 5 yards on first down. Anytime you can pick up 5, 6, 7 yards on first down, you're definitely getting yourself in a position to maximize the amount of plays or the number of plays in your playbook.
It makes it a lot easier on the next down. That's for sure. I take 5 yards every day.
Hell yeah. Well, if you take 5 yards, the defense will never stop you.
Well, yeah, all the way to the end zone.
There you go. Take time off the clock, too. So on 2nd down and 5, draw play inside, nothing doing. Madison Central snuffing that play out on the carry. It looks like rain inside. It is. It's going to go for a loss of 2. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 7.
The one thing I do like about Petal is their scheduling. They do play a lot of very tough teams in the beginning of the season. We kind of talked a little bit about it earlier, that it does make the Panthers a lot better going towards the latter half of the season when you're playing a lot more district games.
That's right, and they're going to get well prepared. When you start off with the likes of Wayne County, Picayune, and now, of course, Madison Central pass outside is intended for Jesse Jackson. It's intercepted by Madison Central in a wide open trot into the end zone. There's no flags down. This play is going to go for 34 yards. Intercepted return to the house for a touchdown. It looks like they had a little miscommunication there, Travis. It looks like Jackson came in on a post as opposed to maybe sitting down in coverage or maybe even going out a little bit. Yeah,
and like we said before, we've seen that a couple times so far tonight. I think that's probably what they're going to talk about most at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So 4 minutes and 42 seconds remaining, and Madison Central has their first lead of the ball game. And their kicker, their specialist, number 8, Nick Bracey, is on to attempt the point after. Good snap, good hold. Line drive kick is true. And with 4 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the second quarter, we have a score of 21-14, Madison Central leading Petal. That was the second turnover of the night so far for this Panthers offense. And when you get in a game, I'm sure you probably would agree, Travis, and I'd like to get your input on it, but when you get in a game with 6A talent like this one, this is, let's face it, these are two of the better programs in 6A in the state. Turnovers are just magnified, and usually the team that wins the turnover battle very often will be victorious.
Oh, absolutely. And we've seen that time and time again, that the team that gives up the most turnovers often does not end up on top at the end of the night. So hopefully the Panthers are going to figure out, kind of work on that miscommunication issue that they seem to be having on offense, and hopefully, give our defense a little bit more of a break.
Plenty of time, of course, if you're just tuning in, just joining us. We appreciate you again for listening on 93.1 WGDQ. If you're listening online, we appreciate that as well. Thank you so much. You're listening to Petal Panther Football. We're very happy and excited to bring it to you. So thank you for being out there, Panther fans. And we appreciate, again, of course, our sponsors. And Travis, I appreciate you being here with me tonight.
I'm glad to be here, and thank you for coming to Petal. We definitely appreciate you broadcasting our football game.
Well, I'm excited to be doing it. It's a rich tradition, and I'm happy to do it. I'm excited about it. So the kickoff for Madison Central goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20 for the Panthers. Plenty of time on the clock. All 3 timeouts to work with. 4:42 remaining in the second quarter. Petal trailing by a touchdown, 21-14, as they move from our left to our right.
This is a pretty important time for the Panthers with only 4 minutes and 42 seconds left. Obviously, they really want to score at least one more time before going into the half.
I couldn't agree with you more. Rain on the delayed draw left side, trying to break a tackle, not much doing. He'll pick up 4, maybe 5 yards. Some hard running on that side. Madison Central really seems to be asserting themselves up front and trying to really take over this game in the trenches.
They're definitely not giving up any yards for free. They're making the Panthers work for it so far.
And if what we've heard is accurate with the defensive backs, or possibly the weaker part of their defense, just made a great play on that last defensive series, interception return of over 30 yards to the end zone for Madison Central. So Barkins in shotgun on 2nd down and 6, heavy rush, drop off underneath, and they are lucky on that play. That ball was batted. The screen was there. Rain was there. It looks like there's a flag down at the 10. We've got a roughing the passer penalty. That's a huge break for Petal.
I believe that's 15 yards.
It sure is. It's going to be a personal foul, 15 yards. It'll move the ball all the way up close to the 40-yard line. But just to reiterate on that last play, Barker dropped back to pass, and they had an empty backfield. Madison Central came on a jailhouse blitz, and as he floated the ball, Rain had plenty of running room there. But the ball was tipped and nearly intercepted at the line of scrimmage. Very, very lucky break, but of course, we'll take the 15-yard personal foul.
Oh, without a doubt. It's amazing how just one fingertip can change the play so dynamically. Luckily, we caught a break with that penalty.
Sure did. So from the 39-yard line, again, Petal moving from our left to our right, 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first half. Double receivers out right and double receivers out to the left. Rain moving back and forth in front of Barker, and again he's going to move to the right side. And it looks like Petal is going to call their first time out of the half to talk about this. Coach Boyles didn't like what he saw in that last alignment. I'm not sure. Rain maybe wasn't in the right spot. What do you think?
Well, I just think his main goal is to make sure they're all on the same page. With only 3 minutes left in the half, he wants to make sure that we are as efficient as possible. And I think he knows the same thing we know, is that they've had maybe a couple miscommunication errors in the past couple drives. So I think he's working out all the kinks and trying to do as best he can with the time he has left.
That's exactly right. It's a beautiful night for football. Just so glad that the rain has cleared through. Knock on wood. We've been rain-free so far tonight, which, of course, the weather changes, the game so dramatically, what you want to do on offense. Full moon, but it is a beautiful night for football tonight with 3:38 remaining in the first half. So Petal back out of their timeout. They have a first down following the personal foul call from the 39-yard line. They're going to run with a double receiver out to the right. The officials are talking about something here. I don't know if they're looking at the play clock. Play clock has not started yet. But they're about to signal it live for play. And here we go. So Barkin in shotgun. Double receivers out to the right. Jackson comes in motion, fake handoff to him, looking deep down the seam, pass intended for Revis. He may have had a step on big number 11 for Madison Central, Jeffrey Pate. But all in all, Pate did a great job of keeping stride for stride with Revis.
Oh, that was good. Revis, he's fast, so like you said, it was definitely good coverage. He just barely overthrew the ball. Looked like that could have been some nice yardage, but it looks like we're going to set up and try one more time.
That's right. Second down and 10 from the 39. I knew it was just a matter of time with these defensive backs before they did take a shot. Handoff inside, Rain looking for some running room, not much doing. Good job by Madison Central. This play will go for only a yard gain, and it's going to bring up third and long.
I'm impressed with Madison Central's defensive line. So far, they've done a really good job tonight of kind of limiting Rain's ability to run.
Yeah, they really have done a good job, and they're stout on both sides of the ball. Their line, they really breed size up front. 6'4", 275, 6'2", 225. So they've got some guys in the middle of that defensive line, defensive tackles, that really anchor that line. Third down and 9, Barkin under a heavy rush. He'll step forward, and there's nowhere to go. It looks like he may have lost the football back at the 38-yard line. We're waiting on a signal. Madison Central dancing around like they may have recovered it. This would be a huge third turnover in the first half. As they peel the bodies off the pile, several Madison, it is Madison Central football. When a guy comes out of the pile with the football, you know you've got it at the 38-yard line, and that is exactly what Petal did not need to happen. Tyler, that's the third turnover of the first half. Or excuse me, Travis. I don't call you Tyler.
Tyler, Travis, color guy, whoever. But, yeah, definitely, especially, they have 3 minutes to go around 35 yards, 40 yards. So
plenty of time.
Madison Central has great position, unfortunately. Hopefully the defense is going to step up and make some plays.
So Madison Central following the turnover. Quarterback keeper inside Schwartz will pick up about 3. Travis, what did you think of that play?
Well, I'm not going to complain about it. It's we did a good job of stopping them there. Like we were saying, we do not want Madison Central to score.
I had the first letter right. I'm sorry.
You didn't have the first letter right, and that's the first step. So
I appreciate that. Nephew of Skeet Ulrich on the color analyst here tonight. This is going to be another quarterback keeper for Schwartz. Diving inside the 30. It looks like he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down stick. Clock continues to tick. We're down to about 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
I just would like to point out that I'm only a cousin when it's convenient enough to get some money coming back my way.
Oh, okay. There it is.
Otherwise, no relation.
Talk to him about the royalties on that one.
That's right.
3rd down and 1 from the 29-yard line. Schwartz, they're going to give it again off the left side. Good job by Petal, but the play will go for 4 yards and a Madison Central first down. And they're having trouble stopping Brandon Collins.
Yeah, and Madison Central, they're keeping the clock moving. They're going to set up the chains. The clock is going to start again. So one thing they are ensuring is that the Panthers, if they do score, if they do have maybe a turnover, that the Panthers won't have enough time to make anything happen.
Well, with 1:46 remaining, Petal is going to call a defensive timeout. I think this is a great move by Coach Boyles. Talk about it, that defense and trying to stiffen up. You're already trailing 21-14 late stages of the first half. You really don't want to fall behind by 2 scores going in the locker room.
No. So hopefully the Panthers are once again going over their plays, making sure they're on the same page and doing their best to stop this Madison Central running game. That's
right. We have some other scores, another score from the area up in Ellisville. That game has just gone to half at South Jones. South Jones and Northeast Jones are tied at 7. That's an interesting game up in Jones County this evening. And I mentioned earlier the strength of 6A. Of course, you've got some great football, some great quality football in Jones County. There's so much talent up there again this year. South Jones, may not be the strongest team up there along with Northeast, but those teams are going to make some noise. And those teams just beat on each other week after week after week after week, with West Jones and Laurel. And football in the Pine Belt is a beautiful thing, isn't it?
That's what I was going to say. That's what makes high school football that much more interesting.
So back to action, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Play action pass. Schwartz has his receiver open. He had a beat on that play. It's just over his head. It's incomplete. Williams was the intended target. Good thing that ball sailed incomplete, or that would have been another 6 points.
So, that wasn't bad coverage either, but, if he would have just placed the ball a little bit better, that could have been bad. So we did put a little bit of pressure on their quarterback, too, which was good. I think that made him kind of a little bit off balance when he went to make that pass.
A little jumpy. Very often you'll see when guys try to fire that ball in there, it'll either sail on them or it'll come up a little bit short. So here's a pitch out on the right side. And that's going to go for about 4 yards. Once again, big tailback, number 28, Brandon Collins. And he's had a great first half for Madison Central.
Well, he's just kept going. He's kept moving the ball, and you can't ask for any more than that. Just keep moving the ball, moving the chains.
Yeah, I agree with you, and he's really done a good job of grinding out yards. Petal's done a good job of hitting him close to the line of scrimmage, but he's kept those legs churning, grinding, and picking up those hard-fought yards. So big play here, 3rd and 6. Pass is underthrown and incomplete. A hook route was ran out about the 15-yard line. And Schwartz had his target, but again, a little pressure coming on the backside. He threw that one short, and Petal has held here for the time being. It's going to bring up 4th and 6.
And I believe it looks like they're going to go for it. I'm not so sure.
I would say this is the right move with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go, down just outside the red zone. You're at your opponent's 21. They're at the Petal 21. Again, 1:03 remaining in the first half. It's 21-14 Madison Central with the lead. So this is a huge play for Petal. If they can get a stop here, they basically assure themselves at the worst of only being down by 7 at the half.
Right, and it's a pretty gutsy call because the Panthers, they're a very dynamic team and they can be very explosive at times. So, a minute may be all the time they need.
Well, Madison Central knows the importance of this play. They're going to burn their final timeout. It comes with 1:03 remaining in the second quarter. Madison Central 21, your Petal Panthers 14. Another hard-fought, tight, close game for these Panthers, the second week in a row. They're clawing and scratching. They're doing a lot of really good things. And people have to remember, like you had said earlier, when you open up with Wayne County on the road, Picayune on the road, defending 5A state champion, and then you come home and play the likes of Madison Central. You're just grooming yourself you're setting yourself up with a lot of strength moving later in the season, but you're playing some really good ball clubs early.
Right, and we have evidence that works. We did the same thing last season, and we made it all the way to the championship. Unfortunately, didn't pull that off, but obviously all the experience we gained from playing those good teams early helped out.
Well, the crowd coming to life here at Panther Stadium on the campus of Petal High School. 4th down and 6. Schwartz, 3-step drop, great protection, pass out in the flat. Great job, great coverage on the play. Out on that far sideline inside the 10. Great job by this Panthers defense. That was another great play. That was Trevor Williams, the senior defensive back. He just did a great job. It looked like the receiver Williams just kind of sat down in coverage, and a great job by Trevor Williams to knock that ball away.
Absolutely. He hit him as soon as he made contact with the ball, and that was definitely a great play by the defense.
So a good job. Excuse me, that was Tyus Rain on that last defensive play, and I apologize for that. So a great job inside the 10 to break it up. Petal will take over with 58 seconds remaining at their own 21. Handoff coming near side on the play. Across the 25 to the 27, scampers John Wyndham.
It looked like he was trying to make it out of bounds. Unfortunately, he didn't make it all the way there. Clock is ticking down. It looks like there's about 40 seconds left. So,
and they have one timeout remaining. 35 on the play on the game clock. Excuse me. Petal trailing 21-14. After that stop, I'm sure Coach Boyles is probably fairly content to go in the locker room only down by 7. We'll see if they take a shot here in the late stages of the first half. It is going to be a handoff by Wyndham to Wyndham on the left side. They'll cut back inside. It'll get up to about the 35-yard line, so it'll go for about 8 yards and a first down. Clock will start again on the set from the first down yardage up at the 35.
Well, like you said, we still have one timeout, so I think the Panthers are going to try and get set up and get another play off as soon as they can in order to see if they can maybe squeeze in one more play with the timeout.
Well, it looks like Boyles is going to be content to just go into the locker room here. 21-14 as our clock is ticking. 3, 2, and 1, and that will lead us into halftime. Our halftime score here from Panther Stadium is 21-14. Petal trailing Madison Central. It was a good, hard-fought first half. Petal, of course, those 3 turnovers definitely hurt them, but they're only down by 7.
They are only down by 7, and like we've said before, I'm not certain that that they're doing as much damage to us as we are doing to ourselves. So I think if we can just work that out and talk that over at halftime, I think we'll come out a better team at the second half.
Well, you're listening to Petal Panther football on 93.1 WGDQ. Our halftime score, once again, Madison Central 21, Petal 14. Travis, appreciate you being here. You'll be back for the second half. We're going to send it back to the studio here in just a moment. We'll be back with our halftime show with Kyle Britt. He's going to talk football and all kinds of cool stuff from around the area. And we'll be back after these words. Again, you're listening to Petal Panther football on 93.1 WGDQ. Hey, Barbara, are you there?
Tonight.
Welcome back to Panther Field on the campus of Petal High School. Our halftime score is Madison Central 21, Petal 14. I'm delighted to have along with me Coach Kyle Britt from Petal High School. Kyle, what do you think of the first half so far?
Just some mistakes by Petals put us in a bind, but with the 3 turnovers we had, we're still right in the ball game, only down 1 touchdown. And that was a big deal right there towards the end. Madison Central choosing to go for it on 4th down, and the Panthers holding them. I mean, if they kick a field goal, go up 10 points, and they get the ball to start the second half, they go down, they could go up 3 scores. This way, right now, if we're able to stop them the third quarter, first possession, we'll have a chance to go back down, tied up, and we're all back square, all even then at 21-21.
Yeah.
But defense has not played bad, really, though. Madison Central, they converted a 4th down and 6, I believe it was, for a touchdown, where the tight end kind of bounced that wide open. They threw a big pass play from about 60 yards that got them inside the 10-yard line, which they eventually drove in. And then they had the pick 6 where Barker just threw an ill-advised pass. And that's one thing about Larson. They're putting pressure on him. He's just got to be a little bit more cooler in the pocket. If you have to, take a sack. I mean, it's better to have a sack than to have a turnover.
Yeah, I agree with you. I can't say enough about the job on that 4th down play. You're looking at a 28-14 hole on, they're at your 15-yard line, and Tyus Rain did a great job of sticking with his receiver, knocking the ball down. Rain gets a lot of praise as a tailback, but he's done a phenomenal job and come up with some big plays early this season as a defensive back.
He sure has. Tyus is the type of kid, he could probably play either running back or defensive back on the next level.
I agree, and to knock that ball away, speaks volume to go in the locker room, and that's why they kind of ran it out there. They got the ball back with about 40 seconds left, but they were content to just run the clock out, go into the half, trailing only 21-14. I know you burn up the Twitter line. I know you're on you're the social media guy. So, what kind of scores do you have from around the area?
Well, around the area, first of all, one that kind of catches my eye in the second quarter, Wayne County up 7-0 over Mendenhall. Game being played up in Simpson County. Other games around the area, in another region game, Meridian, who's going to be pretty much the team to beat in our region, according to most of the experts. They're up 21-0 in the second quarter over Canton up in Madison County.
Yeah, they're strong.
Possibly we could see an upset in the making third quarter. Hoover, Alabama, one of the powerhouses in the state of Alabama, leading South Panola, get this now, 21-0 in the third quarter.
Wow.
South Panola, the unprecedented, they're number 1 in every poll of the state.
Oh, yeah.
Which, speaking about top teams of the state, Lafayette County went down last night 19-0 against Oxford.
What was that score again of the South Panola game?
21-0 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Wow.
They're on the CSS tonight. For those of you out there listening, want to check it out on TV, and while you're listening to us here on the radio, South Panola and Hoover doing battle in the MAIS versus MHSAA battle. Jackson Prep leading against Forest 29-7 at the end of the second quarter. Jackson Prep with a young man, Buchanan, who's committed to play quarterback for Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Another region foe, Terry, who I believe is 2-0 on the season already. They're leading Ridgeland 14-7 up around the Jackson area. As we scroll down the Twitterverse, Brookhaven Academy leads Simpson Academy 13-10.
I believe Terry's 1-1 on the season. They lost that first game of the year 32-28.
That's right.
They
Close one against McComb. That's right.
McComb.
Other region opponent, Brandon, leads Clinton 14-7 in the second quarter.
Brandon's making some noise. They're impressing me early on. They have a lot of speed on both sides of the ball.
They had a big win last week, 35-0 in the showdown against their big rival Pearl.
Pearl, right.
And they're looking to go 3-0, and they're ranked in the top 10. And they're another region foe.
That's what we were talking about during the first half in between plays, the strength. And let me know what you think about that, if you agree. This year, more so than other years I can remember in the recent past, is the strength in South State of 6A.
Oh, definitely. Just in our region 3, 6A, 1 through 5 is as good as any region in the state.
There's so much
I mean,
depth.
You have Meridian, you have Petal, you have Oak Grove. All three of those teams have played in the state championship over the past 4 years.
And let's not forget about Hattiesburg, who looks fantastic.
They have 32 seniors this year. They've had 2 big wins against Murrah, and last week
a blowout
against Laurel, 38-0 in the Brown Jug game.
Yeah, they reclaimed the Jug. They were up 38-0 at the half and called the dogs off in that game.
In Oak Grove, I mean, Brett Favre, offensive coordinator over there, and he's getting a lot of publicity. The Warriors are 2-0. They put a lot of points up against Summerall, and then last week a hard-fought win over county foe Purvis. They're off this week. Oak Grove is. And Hattiesburg, they play at Warren Central tomorrow, so that's a couple of teams that not in action. Now, a lot of games rescheduled or canceled. Forest County AHS and Picayune was canceled. So I'm going to scroll down to Twitter. We've got Ackerman leading French Cap 14-0. Caledonia leads Heritage Academy 10-7 at halftime. That's the MAIS versus MHSAA game. Okay, we got Some other scores. A team we play next week, Brookhaven, their game was postponed against Hazelhurst to tomorrow at 2:30.
Okay.
We got right now Pearl all over Northwest Rankin. Northwest Rankin off to a tough start. Pearl leads Northwest Rankin 21-0 at halftime. As we scroll down the Twitterverse, Lee Academy 21, Carroll Academy 0. And we got the Clinton, Brandon score. Brandon up 14-7. A lot of these may be repeated, but I'm just kind of go through here. Not as many scores as normal tonight. Northeast Jones and South, as you mentioned, tied at 7 at halftime. A couple college games out there. If you're out, the college football starts tomorrow. It really started last night.
Yeah.
Tennessee leads in the Georgia Dome, one of the kickoff classics. Tennessee leads NC State 22-14.
Wow.
And then up in East Lansing, Michigan, you got Boise State. They're at it again, 13-10 early against Michigan State.
That Tennessee-NC State game is a very interesting game because you have two teams that I consider to be kind of in the middle of the pack of their conference, but teams that can build on this win and maybe knock off one of the big boys later on in the season in their divisions.
Oh, definitely.
So that's an interesting ball game early.
You know, this is kind of a make or break year for the Tennessee head coach Derek Dooley. I mean, he's 5-7 last year. And 6-7 the year before. That's unacceptable for a program as storied as Tennessee.
Rich in tradition. There's definitely a short leash on them this year. You're talking about these scores. We've talked about some high school games, of course, with the weather. Not nearly as many games tonight. We had 53 Friday night games on the docket in South State last week. 53, and we do not nearly have that many this week. Some games postponed, some games even canceled.
Some moved to tomorrow.
I know right here, if you're in the area and you're listening online or at 93.1, you could see a wonderful football game right here on Panther Field tomorrow, 2:30. Taylorsville and Collins.
Two high belt matchup right there.
Yeah,
Coach
the Tartars
Matt Caldwell and the Tartars.
Yeah, the Tartars, a rich tradition. They look like they're back at it again. They had the first week off of the year. Their first week they were off this season, but they looked really strong last week. So
a little bit of knowledge. Coach Marcus Bowles, that was his first head coaching gig with Taylorsville. He won a couple state championships there. Coach Jason Campbell, who now is in the NFL.
The quarterback, yeah.
Okay, I got some other score updates from our region. Region of foe, Forest Hill trails Callaway 20-6 at halftime. Also in Jackson, we have Provine leading against Murrah 20-13 at the half. PCS leads Columbia Academy 22-0, a local game of note there, playing over in Columbia. I imagine that field's pretty wet. I'm not sure what type of drainage Columbia Academy has, but they got a lot of rain over a little bit west of us towards Columbia, Macomb area. There's some flooding over in Pike County.
Yeah, Marion County got, I believe, I had heard anywhere from 6 to 8 inches more rain than Forest County, which is amazing considering it's only 30 miles basically down the road.
We got a possible upset in the making. West Point, who played South Panola to the wire the other day, they're down 12-0 against Columbus.
Wow.
A lot of scores. That's the fun thing about Twitter. You can get a lot of scores. Louisville 14, Neshoba Central 3. Corinth leads Boonville 16-6. I don't know if you heard the story last week. Oh, actually, that was Baldwin in Boonville about the skunk running across the field. It was in the Clarion Ledger the other day. They were down by 6 points.
Well, they called it the spray game, I believe is what I heard it termed.
Well, the skunk came around, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, Boonville comes back to beat Baldwin in a big matchup between two foes. We got another local game, kind of local. Simpson County McGee leads Lawrence County 16-7 at the end of the second quarter. As I go on down this line, that's a big game right there.
And just real quick, again, I'd like to congratulate Tori Cahill she's the Academic Achievement Panther for Petal Primary School, the daughter of Bridget and Michael Cahill. She's in second grade at Petal Primary School, and she's in Lori Wallace's room. What a great honor. She was just honored here at halftime out on the field at Panther Field, and she's a huge Panther fan. If you've any friends or family of her listening, keep up the good work. We're proud of you. Great job. And again, everybody here in the press box, a big shout out and thank you to Dickey's Barbecue. Their food is so good, and I don't know what they put in this barbecue sauce, but I just want to, again, thank them for bringing food. They're conveniently located on Highway 42, and they can be reached at 601-602-3478. So thank you so much, Dickey's, for providing our pregame, during game, and possibly post-game meals. So thanks a lot.
A couple other scores of note. Mize trails Wesson 21-7 at halftime. A good Mize ball club. And actually, Meridian is up 21-0 at halftime as they're kind of going down. As you see here, as I go through the scores, I mean, that's the thing about Twitter. You may have some of them repeated. And one thing, really, before we kind of get down, I've got about all the scores. We're going to mention mention and say hello to our good friend, former head coach Steve Buckley, who's in Nebraska tonight, getting ready for Southern Miss's opening game of the season tomorrow against Nebraska to be on ABC tomorrow at 2:30. We're going to wish Coach Buckley and the Southern Miss football team the best of luck tomorrow as they take on top 25 Nebraska.
That's an ABC national game. In fact, I think there's only 6 states in the country that will not have that game. For those states, it'll be on ESPN2, so some great national recognition for the Golden Eagles to start their season. We're 5 minutes roughly away from the start of the second half. Again, our halftime score, 21-14, Madison Central over Petal. You're listening to Petal Panther football on 93.1 WGDQ. We're going to throw it back to the station for a word from our sponsors for just a moment, and we'll be back with a few more words from Kyle Britt right after these words. Panther Field on the campus of Petal High School. Our score again at halftime is Madison Central 21, Petal 14, along with Kyle Britt for our halftime show. Kyle, you have some stats for us?
I do have some halftime stats, courtesy of at Pine Belt Sports. Josh Watt does a great job covering. He's on the sidelines. He's got the stats for us. Madison Central has 194 total yards of offense. Petal has 127. But then again, you got to look at also that kick return by Jamarcus Reeves at 95 yards. It took away a possession right there. But individual stat-wise, you have Larson Barkin, who's 7 for 12 for 60 yards, but has 2 interceptions, one very costly on the interception return for a touchdown. You have Tyus Rain has 9 carries for 44 yards, leading the Panthers in rushing. Jamarcus Reeves with 187 all-purpose yards for the Panthers, returns, and also the receptions he had. He had a nice 28-yard reception down the left side on the first drive of the game. But that's the stats here for the Panthers here. Going in the second half, this first possession is a big one for us. We've got to make something happen. To force a turnover would be great.
That's what I was about to ask you. What do you think Coach Bowles and his crew are talking about in the locker room? They came out with a very similar game. It has the same feel a little bit to last week. Of course, we don't have a number 33 named Dito on the field for Madison Central, but 21-14 our score, Madison Central leading. What do you think the coaching staff's talking to the players about?
I think more than anything on the offense, executing. We executed really good against Wayne County, executed against Picayune last week in the first half. We just have to execute plays better. I mean, Madison Central's a good ball team. They're a very good ball team. They're a couple plays away from being 2-0.
Right.
They lost a heartbreaker up at Olive Branch, and last week they dominated a good Starkville team. Starkville team, let me add, I just found that score. They're up 28-0 over Tupelo in a 5 versus 6A game. So that's a big matchup there. As Starkville, start off the season 0-2, they're looking to get their first win of the year. But we just have to get a stop. We have to force turnovers. Whenever you're playing a football game, if you're a minus category on the turnovers or more than -2, it's hard to win a football game.
You're exactly right. I mean, within one turnover differential, you're still about a coin flip. But when you get into that 2, 3, and more, your chances of winning dramatically drop. And, of course, 3 first-half turnovers. And Petal's going to have to do a better job of holding on to the football if they want to come out victorious in this one. But there's a lot of good things that we can talk about Petal. I was very impressed at their ball control in the first half. I thought they did a great job after what happened last week. And I thought they did a really good job of slowing down this high-powered offense of Madison Central.
We did. And Madison Central just had a couple big plays. They had an interception return. They had about a 60-yard pass play. And we had them 4th down and about 6, and they threw a touchdown to the tight end, just kind of got open, slipped away. And looks like the Panthers coming out ready to start the second half.
Looks like we're getting started, Kyle. We always appreciate it. It's always good to have you along. I know you know a lot about Petal Panther football, and that's why we have you here. We appreciate you. Look forward to working with you and roaming those sidelines soon.
Hopefully get everything fixed up next week, and I'll be shooting you scores as they happen to the tweet. I'll try to get them updated as soon as I get them and try to bring you scores at halftime and possibly post-game throughout the year.
That sounds great, Kyle. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for all you do. We're about 20 seconds or so away from kickoff. That's about all that's left on the clock. Again, if you're just tuning in, Petal trailing Madison Central 21-14. We're going to bring in, I'm going to get it right, Travis Ulrich back along for our color analysis. Travis, what did you think about what we saw in that first half from this Petal Panther team?
Well, I just want to say the Dickies is really good, by the way.
Yeah, we did. We
And,
we talked about it at halftime. They're great.
But as for the Panthers, I think Kyle kind of talked about this during the halftime report, that their main issue is going to be minimizing those turnovers. And we already have 3 going into the second half. So obviously we want to minimize those turnovers, maybe force a couple on oh my God, I just blanked. Madison Central. Thank you.
That's all right. That's all right. You're allowed one per game.
1 per game?
You got
That's my mulligan. Okay. So, anyway, hopefully force a few turnovers, and hopefully we'll see a more in-sync offense for the Panthers in the second half.
Yeah, they came out and they looked like they were ready to fire from the hips to start, and we're ready to start right now as Reynolds gets ready to kick off for Petal. So Madison Central will get the ball to start. He'll take it from the goal line. They're actually going to say the ball went about a foot into the end zone or yard into the end zone, so they'll bring it out to the 20. Madison Central will start with the ball the second half. Madison Central will be moving from our right to our left on your dial, and they will start from their own 20. We appreciate Kyle again for all he does, bringing us those scores at halftime. A lot of good action. There'll be a lot more action tomorrow in the area.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you didn't have enough of your high school football fix already by the end of tonight, you'll see a little bit tomorrow.
There's right. So Schwartz in shotgun. He'll keep it and come to the left side. Good job. Huge tackle. Good open field tackle inside for Petal on the play. Big number 46. We've called his number a bunch tonight for the Petal Panthers. That's Forrest Harvey.
Well, that's a good start. It's the first play for Madison Central for the second half. So it's good to go ahead and stop that as early as we can.
We apologize for that lack of ambient sound. We'd like to let you feel like you're in the crowd, so we just got that microphone back up and working so you can enjoy it at home and get a feel of what it's like out here at the stadium. On second down and 10, handoff right side, flag down, running room up the middle, gain by the big fullback, Madison Central, number 33, Daniel Goodspeed. That's the first time we've called his name and number all night, but there is going to be a chop block on Madison Central, so this will bring it back.
Well, and, fortunately enough for us, because that was going to be about maybe a 15-yard run, so that'll bring that back and, once again, give us a nice little break.
That's exactly right. So a good job by these officials of catching that chop block inside. Sometimes it gets a little crowded in there. It's hard to see what happens. A lot of clutching and holding. Of course, it is only holding if you get caught.
That's right.
But this is going to march the ball back to the 10-yard line, and we'll replay second down. So a huge break for this Panther defense. It'll bring up second down and 20 for Madison Central, backed up in the shadows of their own end zone.
Well, they've got not much room to work with and a long way to go.
That's right. That's a good thing for Petal. See if they can continue to put the pressure on here. Second down and 20, Schwartz. Three-step drop, pass out in the flat, nearly intercepted, batted away beautifully on the play is Aaron Bajoy.
Well, that's good. The Panthers did a good job pressuring the quarterback, good coverage, and that'll be third down and 20. This is a big play for the Panthers to go ahead and stop them early.
It is a huge play, a great read by him. Again, that's a second or third pass that he has knocked down. And he was only about a half a stride away from having a shot at a turnover on that play.
Oh, he was either going to get the ball, make the tackle, or he was there.
So third down and 20 on the quarterback keeper. Schwartz looking for room, not much doing. They needed 20 yards. They only got 5 in on the play. Big number 60, the nose tackle for Petal. That's Jaron Guy and a couple of other Panthers. So this is going to bring up fourth down and 15, and Panthers will get the ball back, and they should get it in pretty good field position.
That's what you'd figure. The defense did a great job of stopping Madison Central from gaining really anything out of that possession, and hopefully the offense is going to come out and show what they learned from the first half.
And Rebby's to stand back. It is right at the 50-yard line. Here's the kick. It's a low line drive kick. It's going to take a great bounce for Madison Central. Still bouncing around, and it's going to come to rest down at the 38-yard line. So that's going to go as a 52-yard punt with no return. And we talked about those low line drive kick, how effective they are. They may only sail 30 yards down the field, but they have so much momentum behind them. They take a huge hop, and the ball's going to be down to inside the 40. They're actually going to say that one of the Madison Central players, while they were watching it bounce, touched the ball at the 44. So there's another break for the Panthers. Give them about 5-6 yards of extra there on to start. They'll start at their own 44.
And that's just such a dangerous punt. The ball's moving so fast, and as we all know, a football can bounce any way it wants to. So it's just such a dangerous style of punting.
10:18 remaining third quarter. 21-14 Madison Central over Petal. From the 44, Barkman's pass is complete across midfield. Jackson trying to slip out of a tackle. He'll lunge forward down to about the 48. That's going to be a gain of about 7, maybe 8 yards on first down.
Well, and I think that's good to go ahead and try and reestablish that passing game, try and get that confidence back up, because he did have a few mishaps in that first half. So I'm hoping Barkman came out of the locker room with maybe a new invigoration going into the second half.
There you go. So we hadn't called Jesse Jackson's number very much in the first half, so it's good to get him involved. Here's Rain up the middle with some running room. He'll push the pile forward across the 45 down to about the 43, a gain of about 5 on the play. Move the chains. It's a Panther first down.
It was excellent blocking, and the offensive line has created a nice hole for Rain to get through, pick up the first down, and a few more.
That's right. So the Panthers moving from your left to your right on their first possession. They got a huge defensive stop to start the second half. They have the ball in great field position, 1st and 10 at the Madison Central 43. Again, Madison Central leading by 7, 21-14 in the early stages of the third quarter. Barker in shotgun. On the keeper. Slips out of a tackle inside the 35, still on his feet, running over the defensive back, and he is fired up. Forward progress down to the 27-yard line. That's a 15-yard run on the quarterback keeper and a first down for the Panthers.
It looked like he did a great job of faking that handoff and keeping the ball himself, going straight up the middle, catching everybody off guard, and that was a great run.
It was. Did a great job. He faked out the defense a little bit on that fake trap draw. We saw Picayune run that play several times last week. So a chip off the old block. Good job. Good play call. 15 yards straight ahead, slipping tackles and running over the defensive back. Petal's in business here, moving the ball and moving it with authority at the moment. From the 27, Rain inside and not much doing. He'll be thrown for a loss of about 2 on the play. Good job of pursuit up front there for this Madison Central defensive line.
Well, I'm sure they didn't have too much to work on over the half. I think they're probably going to try and keep doing what they've been doing, which is, for the most part, a great job of stopping the run.
No, I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. So 2nd down and 12 from just inside the 30. They spotted at the 29-yard line. Double receivers split out to the right-hand side. Barker, handoff. Rain inside with running room inside the 20. Pushing the pile forward. That's going to be enough for a first down. Give the youngster 13 yards down to the 16-yard line inside the red zone. It is a Panther first down.
You know, in this case, I love to be stood corrected. As you know, I just talked about Madison Central doing a good job of holding the Rain back, and that play right there, he just exploded for another first down.
That's exactly right. He did a great job. They're really keeping them off balance with that play action. That time they gave it to him, let the big man do the work, and he got down to the 16. Barker on the same play, that quarterback keeper inside, fighting forward. He's going to pick up about 5 yards. Nice play on first down to the 11.
I'm getting this feeling that we may be seeing Barker channel the inner Anthony Alford. He's doing some pretty good running, and he's adding some good yardage to this drive.
Well, anytime you can channel the likes of Double A, as they call them, you're doing the right thing, and we're going to get to see him in action tomorrow. He'll be involved as a true freshman tomorrow up at Nebraska. We're excited. I know the Petal Panther fans are very proud of him, and he's very proud to be a Petal Panther. So handoff Rain, right side, cutting back inside, down inside the 5. It's going to move the chains, set up a first down and goal. And you can't say enough at the moment of how Petal is taking over the line of scrimmage. The big men up front are really doing a good job of establishing the trenches up front.
Without a doubt. I mean, we've seen that this drive, they've been so efficient at making holes and allowing Rain to get through almost untouched.
Absolutely. So from the 4-yard line, handoff inside. Rain will fight forward for about 1 on the right side. Host of Madison Central tacklers in on the play, and we have a heat timeout on the field. 6 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Our score, Madison Central 21, Petal 14, but Petal is knocking on the door. Let's talk for a moment here that they're inside the 5. That was a quick heat timeout.
That was a very quick
heat
timeout.
We're back. I guess they don't think it's hot. So we're back. It's 2nd down and goal from the 3. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Barker running over players into the end zone. It is a Petal Panther touchdown. And I'll tell you what, he is fired up. This is about as fired up as we've seen him in the early going of the season here, getting his team right back within a point, high-fiving his team as he comes all the way down the line, high-fiving everybody. And that was just a wonderful, good drive following a great defensive stand.
Well, I think that's going to definitely boost his confidence a little bit, definitely as we saw him moving down the sideline. But, that's good for him. That's good for the team. That's good for the momentum for the Panthers.
And here's Reynolds on to attempt the point after. The kick is up, and it is no good. Wow. It looked like a good snap and a decent hold. It looks like he pulled it left, wide left. So with 6:26 remaining in the third quarter, keep an eye on that point. That could come back to haunt the Panthers, and they're a little frustrated as they come off the field. Once again, 6:26 remaining in the third quarter. Our score, Madison Central 21 and Petal 20.
Well, we have seen that that point after bite us in the behind before. So hopefully that won't be the case at the end of the night, but that will be looming as we make our way through this game.
That's exactly right. You got to hope those. How many times in college, high school level, and the pro level, you see those botched extra points come back to haunt. There's one thing that Petal can do about that is just stiffen up even more on defense and not have to worry about it.
Right, and so far, as we've seen in this second half, they've done a pretty good job so far, and I think we're about to find out if they're going to continue that going into this next drive.
I know Coach Bulls talks about consecutive series on offense and defense and how momentum can play a part of that, and I know he'd love to see a second straight defensive stop from his defensive players. So we'll see. Here's a low line drive kick by Reynolds, taking it about the 5. Not much running room, and a great job up front by the Petal Panthers. Good job on special teams, and Madison Central will start at their 18-yard line.
Right, that was, maybe not the best kick that we've seen from Reynolds, but obviously that worked out well in our favor, stopped him before he could even make it to the 20-yard line. So all in all, not bad at all.
The sophomore linebacker, number 16, Christian Gordon, did a great job of getting downfield and wrapping up inside the 20. Anytime you can get down and make a tackle inside the 20, your special teams is doing a darn good job.
Absolutely.
So Schwartz is right back at it. Double receiver slotted out to the right. Handoff inside. And not much doing this time for Brandon Collins. He'll pick up maybe 3.
So far, Madison Central hasn't had any breakaway plays, which is always good. The Petal defense is looking a little more confident and just a little bit more well-rounded than they were in the first half. So I think this is a good start.
Well, now they've decided to go ahead and call the heat timeout now. We had that heat timeout originally signaled at the 6:40 mark, but they're going to go ahead with 6:01 remaining on the clock. They're going to go ahead and call it now. So our score once again, Madison Central 21, Petal 20. Great ball game tonight from Panther Field that's lived up to the billing, and it should come down to the wire. The next quarter and a half of football should be all that's been advertised.
Absolutely. And one thing is we're seeing the Panthers come out a little bit more strong in the second half than we saw against Picayune last week. So I'm glad we're seeing our team come out with a lot more energy and a lot more, I guess, synchronization going into this second half. So I think the Panthers have kind of been working on that, and it looks like they should be able to do a little bit better job than in the past.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, they were outscored 35-14 in the second half last week, and I'm sure Coach Bulls really talked a lot about playing whistle to whistle, start to finish, the full gamut of the game, and all 48 minutes, and they look like they're in the mode to do that. So second down and 5 from the 24. Handoff, this will be good speed, the big fullback up the middle, and he's going to be close to the first down stick. It looks like he may have it up close to the 29.
Yeah, he did. He just did a good job of keeping his legs moving and kind of powered through the Panther defense, and it looks like that'll be a first down.
Yep, back-to-back 5-yard carries for good speed and a first down for Madison Central as they move from our right to our left. First and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Panthers working that 4-3 defense. Hand off on the left-hand side. Good speed again. We'll pick up 5 yards across the 30 up to, I'll give them 4 up to the 33. So it looks like a little change of pace. They're going to go with a little bit of a larger tailback than they had in the first half. The fullback, actually, number 33, Daniel Goodspeed. He comes in at 6 foot even, 205.
Yeah, he's not small by any means.
No, not at all. And he'll get the ball again on the right-hand side, this time snuffed out beautifully by that Panther defense. It'll be a gain of only 1. And again, this is going to set up one of those big plays early, 3rd down and 5 at their own 34 for Madison Central.
I am kind of surprised that they haven't been working much of the passing game yet. They weren't necessarily having a bad time in the first half, but I'd figured we'd at least see at least one passing attempt so far in the second half from Madison Central.
Right. It looks like they're trying to really establish that ground game again, right on cue, right when you ask for it. Here is a passing play. Down the seam, good coverage downfield on the play. No flags down for the Panthers on that far sideline. It was a single coverage out there. And a good coverage. This is going to bring up 4th down. So consecutive plays, consecutive drives rather, Madison Central's drives stall, and on their side of the 50-yard line. So that's great for momentum for Petal.
Oh, you know, Boyles is very happy with how this has turned out so far. He's liking the way his defense has showed up this second half, and very impressive.
And that was Bourgeois again on the coverage there. We've called his number quite a few times. Low line drive kick, bouncing, and trickling into the end zone, almost stopped inside the 5. Wow, that low line drive kick is so effective, but it will go into the end zone. So the Panthers will bring the ball out to their 20. 4:36 remaining in the third quarter. Our score, 21-20. Madison Central leading Petal by 1.
And you know, just going back to that kickoff, I just the speed on Madison Central's special teams is almost scary. They became very close to putting the Panthers on their own 1-yard line.
Yeah, that you couldn't get it. There was some guys here in the stadium. I'm sure were holding their breath. Some of the fans as the ball bounced into the end zone. And Petal will come out here at their own 20. Handoff coming near side. Rain looking for some running room. Not much doing. He'll pick up only about 2. So Madison Central again doing a good job of shifting that line, down the line of scrimmage and making a big play. Looks like we have an injured Jaguar for Madison Central on the field at the 20-yard line. It looks like it may be a cramp.
Yeah, that's what I was getting out of that one too.
A humid night with all this moisture in the air, that can happen, especially in the late stages of the game. You never drink too much liquid.
Absolutely, and just the sportsmanship between the two teams. Pedal trainer Pedro Marino out there helping out as well. So,
and we can't say enough at how great of a job he does for these kids. I mean, you're not going to find a more conditioned and better guy than Pedro. He does a wonderful job with this group of youngsters. You talk about a guy who loves this team. There you go. That was a shout out for Pedro. We can't do that enough. That's the thing about this Panthers football team, as I mentioned last week, is just the class from top to bottom associated with this football team. You're really not going to find a better group of men to work with these youngsters.
Yeah.
So after the short break there for the injury, it's 2nd down and 8. Barker under a heavy rush, blindsided from his right side in on the tackle. Big number 10, D. Johnson, the linebacker, kind of blew that play up back at the 16-yard line, and Barker's lucky he held on to the ball.
Oh, absolutely, and I believe that was the first. Is that the first sack of this game?
I believe that was the first sack of the game. There may have been a run that went for a short loss that would be chalked up as a sack, but that was the first out-and-out sack where they lost, some significant yardage. It's 3rd down and 14 back at the 16-yard line. Again, he breaks free. Pass inside is tipped and falls incomplete, broken up beautifully by Madison Central. And just like that, after Petal got a stop, unfortunately, they're going to go 3 and out and have to punt the ball back to Madison Central.
Yeah, well, that definitely didn't end the way everyone wanted it to. However, the defense is doing pretty good so far in this second half, so hopefully they'll be able to, kind of stand up a little bit, hold Madison Central, and see if we can pull something off here.
Number 5, Chris Morgan, the senior, drops back for Madison Central. He'll stand back at his own 43. Tristan Reynolds on to do the punting for Petal. He'll get the kick away from about his own 5, and he kicks it basically straight up in the air, coming near side. It will take a little bit of a Panther bounce. It landed at about the 35-yard line and jumped forward about 11 yards. So Madison Central with great field position following that short kick. They will start from Petal's 46.
Yeah, they're going to try their best to capitalize on the great field positioning they have. Unfortunately, that wasn't quite the punt he was looking for. Did catch a little bit of a break on the bounce, like you said, but Madison Central not in a bad spot.
No, they're definitely not. Anytime you start with possession on the other side of the 50-yard line, your opponent's side of the field, you're doing something right. And I can't say enough about how big this Madison Central team is. They're near side right now on this near hash. How big they are up front. Now watch Petal's stamina up front on their defensive side of the ball as this game progresses. Handoff on the right side. They're going to go back this time to Collins, and he's going to pick up about 3.
They're doing a good job of at least getting those short gains on the run, which it does add up. Fortunately enough, on the second half, we've been able to keep them on their end of the field whenever they have the ball, which helps us out a lot. But with field positioning, the defense really needs to buck up and keep making plays like they have been.
That's right, and Madison Central now winning the battle of field position as we have on 2nd down and 8 a flag. And this looks like a motion penalty against Madison Central, so this will go as a 5-yard penalty and back them up. Petal can use, of course, all the help they can get here with the ball on their side of the 50-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 13. If you're just tuning in, 2 minutes, 37 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Petal trailing Madison Central 21-20.
And I wish I had the stats on, the penalties per team, but it seems pretty one-sided in this game. Madison Central has hurt themselves a lot penalty-wise. Unfortunately, not so much in the turnover category, but we'll take what we can.
You're exactly right, and exactly right. Petal's done a really good job of playing disciplined football, and it is paying off for them. It's kind of offsetting some of those turnovers. 2nd down and 13 pass deep down the seam, right on the numbers, is incomplete. Good coverage deep downfield for the Panthers, again running stride for stride with the receiver.
The cornerbacks are doing, a really good job, especially on those deep routes. They've been great at that man-to-man coverage and denying Madison Central any of those big pass plays.
The only pass that was complete was that deep post that they ran that went for 60 or 70 yards earlier in the game for Madison Central, and there wasn't a whole lot that Petal could have done on that one. And that was John Myers, the safety, who lined up at the corner position on that last play for Petal. 3rd down and 13, another flag comes down. The Petal Panthers sideline is clapping, so this looks like it may be another motion penalty against Madison Central. And as Madison Central backs up, that's exactly what it'll be. So instead of 3rd and 13, back them up again onto their side of the 50. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 18.
Yeah, that's a for sure way to get a coach hot.
Yeah, absolutely. So got to go deep into the playbook here and try and find something for Madison Central that can work to pick up 18 yards. They need to get to the Petal 36-yard line. They're at their own 46. Big play with 2:19 remaining in the third quarter, 21-20 Madison Central with a 1-point lead. And it's going to be a quarterback draw. Schwartz across midfield. Fighting for yardage, they're going to say forward progress was down to the 45, a gain of only 8. Good job inside. Host of Petal Panther tacklers. And it looks like number 7, Bonet, is hurt. He's coming out limping just a little bit, but it looks like he'll stay out there. So that's a good sign.
Madison Central was in the same position a couple of possessions ago where they had 3rd and long, and they opted to go for almost the same play. Ended up almost identical as well. It looks like they'll go ahead and punt to the Panthers.
Yeah, they are going to go ahead and they're going to punt Zach Trainum on. Let's see if he's going to trot out to his right side after he catches it. He stands back at about his own 40. He will. That low line drive soccer-style kick bounced literally right over the head of one of the Petal Panthers and goes out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So 1 minute, 26 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Our score, 21-20. Madison Central leading Petal in a hard-fought, tight ball game. Petal taking over. They're doing a good job of stopping Madison Central here in the second half.
I was going to say the defense has done a really good job. Maybe not even just the second half, but including the first half as well. They're kind of having to make up a little bit for not really the lack of offense, but maybe some of the issues that the offense has had turnover-wise. So the defense doing a great job helping out the Panthers and keeping us in the game.
So the Panthers from their own 15. Barkin with an empty backfield. Good job of coverage downfield. Revis with a great job on the tip ball. Tripped up from behind. Caught the ball. Wow, what a great play. Great concentration. I see a big smile on your face. Revis with a great job. Ran a little bit of an out. Caught the ball. It was tipped actually several times. He held on to it, slipped the tackle out across the 35. It's a 23-yard gain and a Petal Panther first down.
He bobbled that around, three times. Who knew what was going to happen to the ball, and he makes just a great, like you said, great concentration to come up with the ball and make a huge play.
He sure did. That was just what the doctor ordered. A little bit of breathing room out at the 38-yard line. Moving from our left to our right. Here's Rain inside, breaking tackles. trying to get outside. He does across midfield inside the 40. What a great move he made inside the 20, inside the 15, fighting for the goal line. He is knocked out of bounds inside the 5 at the 2. What a great job by Rain to take that ball, shoot around the end on the right side, and just elude everybody. The move that he made at the 30, folks, that was Anthony Alford-like.
Oh, you know, the defense, they could not stop Rain. He made so many good moves that everybody, I'm sure including the Panther fans, thought he was going out of bounds right around the 35, like you said. And, man, he just kept going and just an amazing run all around.
Well, he broke somebody's ankles. One of the defensive backs for Madison Central is still standing back at the 25-yard line. First and goal from the 2. Handoff inside. It is a Petal Panther touchdown, folks. Inside. What an awesome drive. And, you know, you could just kind of see that develop. After that play down at the other end where the ball was bobbled and caught by Revies, that just momentum, you just felt a spark in this building. It seemed like the crowd really got into it, and 3 plays, that's all that drive took. 3 plays, 2 plays after that amazing catch, it's into the end zone for a touchdown.
I mean, it almost seemed predetermined just how well they executed those 3 plays. It was all just perfectly orchestrated. The Panthers coming out, getting that offense done and doing it right.
Was that Waits on the touchdown?
I believe that was.
I think that was Waits on the right side. Petal's lining up to go for 2. Barker has the ball out on the left side. He faked out everybody and faked half the crowd out. Quarterback keeper rolling around the left end into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good. You can hear the crowd. They come to life. Barker is raising his arms up in the air, getting this Petal Panther crowd fired up. The 2-point conversion is good, and that is huge because now they get the point back that they missed on the extra point. Petal takes a 28-21 lead.
Well, he pulled off a little bit of magic there. That was some Houdini-esque style of magic there. He faked the handoff excellently, and he was the only one standing in the end zone. Nobody else was around him. He had everybody fooled, almost including myself.
Again, you have to attribute that to just really good coaching. They lined up in basically a wishbone, 3 backs in the backfield, and they faked the dive straight ahead. Great job by Barker to sprint outside. Great recognition. Nobody home on that left side of the defense for Madison Central. And just like that, Petal, with 37 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, has kind of taken over this game a little bit. 28-21. The crowd has come to life. They've got the crowd into it. Tristan Reynolds with a good, high, deep kick. This one's going to go through the back of the end zone. Everybody's fired up, including the kicker, and Madison Central will have to start from their own 20.
And that was just crucial that we got that got the 2 points there. You know, that put us back into a not so dangerous area, since we did miss that point after. So I think that made it up for us. We're not back in the ball game, but we're in a more safe position than we had been without the PAT.
Absolutely. And folks, I wish if you're watching online, you saw that play, but at home, I hope I did an okay job. I got so excited on that run by Rain. It was just beautiful. Here's a little bit of a trick play for Madison Central. They faked the dive inside and pitched it out along the right. Number 1 on the play, that's Doug Ball, the tailback. It's a gain of 5 up to the 25. Again, getting back to that play, Rain, the moves that he made, I mean, you give him just a little bit of room and showing incredible balance and agility. And that move that he made at about the 25-yard line was spectacular.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he has talent. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
He put it to display there.
So 2nd down and 5, straight up the middle. This is good speed, losing his helmet, pushing forward, hard running across the 35 to the 36. And with that, that is the final play of the 3rd quarter. What a great ball game we have tonight from Petal Panther Field on the campus of Petal High School. If you're listening at home or watching online, we thank you. Or if you're in the stands listening, we thank you as well. You're listening to Petal Panther Football on 93.1 WGDQ. We'll be back right after these words. Petal leading 28-21. whenever this commercial's over. That'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you. Panther Field is the start of the fourth quarter. The Panthers leading 28-21. First play from scrimmage in the fourth quarter is a handoff left side. Good speed with good running room, good speed into Petal Panther territory all the way down to the 37-yard line of the Panthers, and they're in business here early on in the fourth quarter.
And it looked like the Panthers were set to stop that pretty easily, but they got a key block that allowed him to get a lot more yards than I think he should have. I guess they'll be allowed to get one good play here every now and then.
Good analysis. I like that. So from the 37-yard line, Madison Central moving from our left to our right. Good speed again, just keeping those big legs churning. Down to the 33. That's a 4-yard pickup on first down. So we're in the early stages of the fourth quarter. Petal leading 28-21. Over Madison Central. Madison Central has a little something cooking here. They have 2nd down and 6 from the 33. Petal sideline, you can hear the buzz, you can feel it in the stadium. They're fired up. That's a quarterback option pitch read beautifully by Petal. I can't say enough of the play by number 29, Rashawn Smith, on the play, along with number 26, Travis Morris. There's going to be Treyas Morris. Great job. What a great job Petal did on that pitch. They stayed at home, and they nearly caused a fumble there.
Yeah, it was very well done. They were able to stay on the ball. They knew who had it every step of the play, and that was all around a great job of stopping them from being able to turn anything out of that.
Yeah, exactly. The crowd is raucous. They're loud. It's 3rd down and 8 on the quarterback keeper with plenty of running room inside the 25. Losing the helmet is Schwartz, the quarterback, but he's down to the 22-yard line. He needed to get to the 27, so he picked up an extra 5 yards and a first down for Madison Central.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to know if the fans were in that halftime meeting as well. They seem to have come out a little bit stronger in the second half as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you can't say enough. I remember, just from back in the days of playing, you can't say enough about how important your home fans are towards, that they call them the 12th man for a reason, and they really can give your team that extra momentum they need to push you over the top in a tight ball game. 1st and 10 from the 22. Fumble on the play, picked up by Petal, and I'm going to tell you what, that is a huge play on the read. The turnover, number 11 on the play, Slade Buckley, the big senior linebacker. What a great job, but an even better play on that was quarterback Schwartz to make that tackle. There was nobody in the backfield. He drops the ball. Buckley picks it up. He almost went 70 yards for a touchdown, folks.
You do have to give him a little bit of credit. He was the last man. So, if he did not make that play, that was going to be a quick 6 for the Panthers.
Well, Petal just got one of those turnovers back, and Travis, it couldn't come at a better time. It just, with 10 minutes and 4 seconds to go, already up by a touchdown. Petal in a position now with the ball at their own 29 to really do some damage. On the keeper, Barker, what a great move to bounce it outside across the 35. We'll say forward progress to the 36, so it'll be a gain of 7 on first down.
The offense is looking really good. They just seem a little bit more, a little more electrifying than we saw them a little bit earlier on in the game. So it's great to see just kind of that explosiveness finally come out of the Panther offense.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Petal they seem to have a spark. They seem to be just fighting just that little bit harder than they were early on. And maybe they're the ones wearing down Madison Central as it appears. So that's good. Here's Rain coming near side, spinning across the 40, still on his feet, coming out of the pile behind a line of blockers. He's tackled way out of bounds. And I believe they did. They threw a late flag there on the sideline, I believe. The Petal fans erupted, so it's hard to see with the players and the coaches. They're going to spot him out of bounds at the 45. We have to wait and see what the call is. They're calling for, yep, there is a flag down. They just flipped it over to the side, Judge. So it looks like they're going to get a personal foul, extra 15 yards tacked on, and that is the call. A personal foul, Travis, for a late hit or tackle out of bounds.
I think they were just trying to make sure that they got him down because, you know, I swear he was wrapped up at least 3 times. And he keeps moving his legs, he moves the pile, and he's just so hard to bring down at times. And, you know, that just was an excellent run.
No, it was an excellent run. He did a great job of keeping those legs going, and he's really been shifty in the second half. You get him a little bit of room out there, and he makes a move. Hard count by Barkran, and this looks like it's going to be another 5 yards. The Petal Panthers have a swagger right now. They can feel it.
And that confidence and that momentum is really, really moving in the way of the Panthers right now.
That's exactly right. So tack on an extra 5 yards, put the ball at the 25-yard line. 1st and 5. Petal moving from our right to our left if you're just joining us. 9 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Petal leading 28-21 over Madison Central in a back-and-forth affair. This is going to be handoff on the right side. With running room down to about the 22, Wyndham will be about 2 yards shy of the first down.
Well, so far in this drive, the Panthers really have not been stopped. They've been able to do pretty much as they please throughout this entire drive, and I think they are well aware of what they're doing. Thanks, by the way.
No problem. 2nd down and 2, ball spotted at the 22. We're under 9 minutes to play in the ball game. Barkran in shotgun. Hard count, and there's some more movement up front. The tailback, Wyndham, did also bob his head. It'll be interesting here to see if they're going to call a false start against Petal or if they're going to call encroachment. They all are going to call a false start against Wyndham just for that little tiny head bob. He was split as the tailback to Barkran's left, and they're going to lose that yardage now. It's going to back it up. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
That was just enough to let the yellow flags fly.
From the 27-yard line, clock ticking down to 8 minutes and 45 seconds to play. Barkran in shotgun, double receiver split to his left. He's going to pump fake and go up top, looking for the home run. It's covered beautifully. The ball was intended for Jesse Jackson. It's incomplete, stopping the clock with 8:37 to go, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 7. So this is a huge defensive play for Madison Central.
You know, I'm glad that we did go for that play because we have seen Barkran connect on several kind of deep touchdown passes. So I'm glad we're trying to work that in, see what we can do.
I agree.
I think that was a good call.
It was, and anytime you can run a pump and go in single coverage, a lot of times it'll be successful. It was good coverage by Madison Central. Barkran going to flip to his right. He finds his man open out in the flat. It's caught down inside the 15. What an interesting play. It looked like a broken play. Jumps up, a la Tim Tebow, fires the ball out in the flat, complete to Bryant McDuffie, fights for 1st down yardage inside the 15. Travis, what a great job by the senior.
I mean, like you said, there was almost nothing doing on that play, but he was able to just fight and keep that play alive for just long enough to find the open man, make the connection, and end up with the 1st down.
And you can't say enough about that offensive line, just giving him just enough time to make that happen. Rain up the middle, dancing down inside the 10. He's going to be down to about the 6. It's going to be a gain of about 8, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 2. And we have, it looks like an injured Madison Central player down on the field.
I can't tell, it looks like there may be a flag on the play as well.
Let's see what the call is here. Dead ball, personal foul against the defense. I didn't see much, it was kind of a slow developing play. But they are going to march this ball off from the end of the run half the distance to the goal. That's going to put it down to the 3, and that'll be 1st and goal for the Panthers. Again, there's 8:02 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Well, Petal has done a great job of setting the tempo this entire second half.
And Coach Boyles, so far has to be absolutely thrilled with the way his team has played here. Petal leading 28-21, a chance to really distance themselves here with under 8 minutes to go in the ball game. 1st and goal from the 3. Handoff, Rain inside, fighting for the goal line. It looks like he's in, but there's no signal yet. There it is from the side, Judge on the far side. Touchdown, Petal Panthers. You hear your crowd at home going crazy. 7:49 remaining in the fourth quarter, and Petal jumps out to a lead of 34-21 pending the extra point.
And I know, just Petal going for that almost trademark kind of power set formation they've been using every time they're in within about 3 yards. They'll go. That's almost their go-to formation, and it works almost 95% of the time.
It does, and you saw what they did on that last two-point conversion on their last touchdown. They lined up and went for it. So Reynolds' kick is up this time. It is good. 7:49 remaining in the fourth quarter. Petal leading Madison Central 35-21. Travis, they have taken over this ball game.
Well, it's really important that we got up 2 touchdowns right there because, as we've seen, Madison Central is not a team to write off already. So they do have 7 minutes and 49 seconds left. That's still plenty of time. So, I mean, it's not over yet.
I'm giddy. This is just my second game to do the play-by-play for Petal. And again, thank you to the community for welcoming me with open arms. I want to see my first Petal victory calling these games. I know you want to hear it at home. I'm excited. I'm excited to bring you the call tonight. It's 35-21. Petal's on top. And this, looking at the schedule again, to go to Picayune, to go to Wayne County, I know there's still 7:49. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but to play a team of Madison Central, if you can come out of that 3-game stretch at 2-1, wow.
Oh, absolutely. And, this just proves what we're capable of. If we're doing, this well this early, we know what we can do, what we're capable of, and set the standard for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. It was a close game in the first half, but you just feel the difference here in the second half. Low line drive kick, taking it about the 3-yard line for Madison Central. Fighting for yardage and a great job out across the 30. They just couldn't wrap up and bring down. That's number 19 for Madison Central, Jackson Dyer. So it's a good return. Madison Central with pretty good field position will start at their own 32-yard line.
Well, they know what they have to do. So I'm sure Madison Central is going to use every trick in the book to put a couple points on the board. But the Panther defense is doing a great job so far, so I'm hoping we'll see some good stalwart defense like they've been showing and stop Madison Central again.
Absolutely. Schwartz in shotgun pass out in the flat is caught. And a good open field tackle, gang tackle. Forward progress is up to the 38. So it'll be a gain of 6 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 4. We have a flag down on the field from the side judge after the play is over. And I hope this isn't a second sideline warning against your Petal Panthers. If it is, that'll be a penalty. Coach Boyles with his hands on his hips at the 35. We'll have to wait. It's exactly the call. It's against Petal. So this will be a free penalty. It's a 5-yard penalty against the Panthers for a sideline infraction. So you'll add 5 yards to the end of the play, and they'll march the ball up to the 43-yard line, and that is enough to move the chains for a first down.
Well, they might be a little excited down there as well, so maybe we can cut them some slack every now and then.
That's right. So from the 43-yard line, first and 10 for Madison Central. Clock ticking down, 7:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. Schwartz, play action, steps up, avoids the rush, spinning, and he'll be dropped at the line of scrimmage. Bonet, it looks like, also number 46, Forrest Harvey, and maybe some other guys in there for Petal. Great job staying at home, and they are really fired up on that defensive side of the ball.
Right, just to give Schwartz a little bit of credit, he put in a lot of work just to get it back to the line of scrimmage because there were red jerseys everywhere.
Yeah, there were. And we've got a final score from Alabama. Hoover 35, South Panola 10. Wow. Again, Hoover 35 and South Panola 10, so the mighty have fallen tonight. Pass underneath, it's intercepted. On the interception for Petal, running with the football, Christian Gordon down the sideline. Diving out of a tackle into the end zone. Excuse me, that's Jonah Myers, the safety. There is a flag down back at the 30-yard line, but the ball was intercepted. He read the quarterback's move perfectly, picked it off, got a great block downfield, and was able to scamper into the end zone. But it looks like they're going to bring this one back. It is a penalty against Petal. And we'll have to wait and see if it's a post-possession penalty or not.
But, that was just an excellent read by the Panthers. That couldn't have gone any better. And, it was just a matter of time before the turnovers started coming coming the Panthers' way.
So the call is a holding call against the Petal Panthers. That will negate the interception. Mark that down with 6.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Or excuse me, they're going to say it's a post-possession penalty. I'm sorry, both Petal's. I don't know if you noticed that. I hear you laughing over there. Madison Central's offense came back on the field, and Petal's defense came back on the field. But they are going to say it's a post-possession penalty. So this is going to be a turnover, and that is a huge turnover.
Absolutely. And
so with 6.5 minutes to go, that's the second turnover of the game for Madison Central. Petal takes over, leading 35-21. The holding call was called at the 30, so it's a 10-yard penalty. It'll back it up to the 40. So Petal with the ball at the Madison Central 40, just to reset. The score at halftime, folks, was 21-14 Madison Central. So Petal outscoring Madison Central 21-0 in the half. What a great defensive job and offensive job, just both sides of the ball. Great job, great adjustments. That's the great thing about a coach like Marcus Boyles, just a great adjustment coach.
Right, we saw a big change at halftime for the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's Rain on the draw. Sprinting on the far side, a lot of running. Unfortunately, he only got it 3, maybe 4 yards, but he stayed in bounds. Keep the clock running. Both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. And time is definitely becoming of the essence now for Madison Central.
Right. That was just such a crucial turnover for the Panthers. Yes, they are up ahead 2 touchdowns, but, Madison Central, good team, can't write them off just yet. So any chance we can get to just take the time off the clock, we're going to take it.
And you can hear the public address announcer here at Petal Panther Stadium. There is a timeout on the field. It is a heat timeout. So, again, just to quickly reset, if you're tuning in late, 35-21 Petal leading Madison Central. Petal trailed 21-14 at the half. They're outscoring the Madison Central Jaguars 21-0 in the second half, and they've really taken over this game. You were talking about that last turnover, Travis. That was just it looked like a forced pass. Schwartz was trying to force that one in there, and it didn't work. Petal sat down in that zone defense and were able to come up with the interception.
Yep, one thing I am really impressed by is just how well the offense kind of managed to turn it around a little bit. It's not always easy when you give up a couple turnovers in a row to just turn around and start scoring touchdowns like they have been.
You're exactly right. So 2nd down and 7 from the 37-yard line. Draw play inside, read beautifully up front by Madison Central. It'll be a loss of maybe 2 on the play. It's going to bring up third. They're going to signal the ball at the 37, 38. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 7. Clock still ticking down to 5:33 to play here. Petal again leading 35-21, moving from our right to our left.
This late in the game, Madison Central's worst enemy is going to be the time.
Absolutely. Exactly right. And 2 scores, it's a huge mountain at this point to overcome. From the 38, Barkern back to pass, not much doing. Coming out to his left, and he's just going to have to eat the football and does a good job of holding on to it. He's going to be sacked back at the 41-yard line. In on the sack, big number 10, it looked like, for Madison Central, McDonald. So that was a good play up front. They did a good job. It was good coverage downfield, nobody open, but a good job also by Barker to not force it.
Right. He's also been doing a good job of remaining elusive, and it looks like we're going for it.
This is an interesting call here from the 42. On 4th down and 12, Petal is at least going to line up to go for it, and what it looks like they're probably going to do is they're not even really trying to draw them off sides. They're just going to go ahead and let the clock run down and take a delay of game penalty. Or they're going to call a timeout there with 1 second left on the play clock. It's exactly what they call the delay of game penalty. Give Reynolds just a little bit of room. They're going to back it up 5 more yards, but more importantly, there's 4 minutes and 25 seconds left in the 4th quarter of this one. Petal leading 35-21. And that's about where Reynolds probably likes to kick it. He's going to be able to boot this one away from about his own 40-42.
Reynolds is very capable, in his position. He does an excellent job of good hang time and also usually has very good yardage on his punts.
Again, if you missed the score from earlier, South Panola loses to Hoover tonight in Alabama, 35-10. Reynolds' kick is a short, wobbly kick. One hop and taken by Madison Central on the far sideline. I can't see a number for Madison Central out there. He'll spin across the 20, and he'll be out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. So let's reset it for you again. 4 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Petal leading 35-21. Madison Central with all 3 timeouts, but they trail by 2 scores, and they're going to have to go 77 yards here to try and get within 1 score. And there is a Petal Panther, unfortunately, down at about the 26, 27-yard line. The way they're stretching that out, Travis, looks like it's another cramp.
Those cramps are notorious, especially in this part of the season. And if anything, it gives the defense a little bit more time to think about what exactly they want to do and how they want to stop Madison Central's offense.
Yeah, you're right. And the youngster out there on the field for Petal is up, and he's coming near side. He's now in a good sprint. So and that looks like Jamon Butler, the defensive end, and he's okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That was Tristan Reynolds. That was the punter.
Yeah,
so
I was
good,
wondering.
Good thing. It was hard to tell with the way he had, he was down. But first play, pass, down the seam is caught. Wow, that looked like really tight, good coverage on the play. It looked like Jonah Myers, the man who had the interception on the last play, was there on that play. But just a great job of concentration. Ball was dropped right over the receiver's shoulder inside the 40-yard line of the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he just wasn't really aware that the ball was heading his way, because without a doubt, he was definitely there. There was, not more than a couple inches between him and the receiver. So
you're right. The fly route will net 38 yards, exactly what Petal did not want to happen. 4-10, and he was out of bounds. Schwartz dancing, firing, throwing it away, and the sideline calling for intentional grounding, and they're going to get it. There was nobody over on that side, and surprisingly, Schwartz looked like he might have had a little bit more time to either run or throw that one in another place.
Yeah.
He threw it on that sideline, and that's going to hurt Madison Central.
Yep. I'm not sure if he just maybe saw something he wasn't very fond of when he was heading down towards the Panthers, but yeah, he didn't move all the way out of the box, threw it out of bounds, and that's just another penalty against Madison Central.
Well, intentional grounding will move the ball back to the 48-yard line of Petal. So this is going to bring up, it should be a 10-yard penalty, and they've spotted off 9, if my math is right. So it's going to be second down, 19, under a heavy rush. Schwartz looking for some room, and he'll be thrown down violently on the play. Trying to get a read to get a number. That's going to be Forrest Harvey, who's made plays all night long. Or excuse me, I'm sorry. That's going to be Michael Lewis on the play. So a good job by Lewis. Schwartz did a good job of avoiding several tackles. He was able to get back to about the 44-yard line. So it's a gain of 3. It's going to bring up third down and 15.
Well, this is a huge third down play for the Panthers. Although I'd be willing to bet if they don't make it here that they're going for it on
Absolutely. You're getting close to the 3-minute mark, trailing by 2 scores. Fly route covered beautifully by Petal, inside, overthrown. Schwartz is very unhappy with himself. He had a step, it looked like, on the defensive back, and he overthrew him just a little bit. So with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, Petal leading 35-21. It will be 4th down and 15 from the 44.
Well, and, pressure is becoming a factor. The time, 3 minutes and 20 seconds left, there's a lot on his shoulders to try and make something big happen with such little time left.
And this could be, this is obviously a huge play in the ball game. 4th down, low snap, pump fake, fire, ball is caught. Oh, they're going to say incomplete, okay. It's on that far side, and it is a far way away. It looked like he had it about 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and he did for a split second, but he did drop it as incomplete. I apologize for that. So it's incomplete, and that will be a turnover on downs. Travis, that's huge.
Well, and I believe we know what the Panthers are going to do now. They're just going to, like they did the last drive, they're just going to run out the clock.
Well, Madison Central, again, there's 3:13 remaining in the fourth quarter, 35-21 Petal with the lead. Madison Central with all 3 of their timeouts left. They will be able to stop the clock. So if Petal can pick up a first down, that may be all she wrote. The Panther sideline, the fans feeling it. Everybody up off the bench. Here's a handoff inside Rain. They haven't been able to stop him all night. And he's going to come across midfield to the 48, pick up 7 on first down.
And it was just only a matter of time. Rain kind of started off a little bit slow, but he has just kept pounding the defense. So that he's just done. He fought his own battle, and he did a great job of just keep working at it.
So Madison Central letting this clock run down. They're not using any of their timeouts. Petal is probably going to be committed here to trying to run the play clock down. There's 12 on the play clock and 2:40 on the game clock. Leading by 2 scores. The Panthers in total control of this one, folks. Handoff inside and nothing doing. Read nicely by Madison Central. That was number 32 on the carry, Bo Waits. And surprisingly, Madison Central again not calling a timeout. I would have thought they would have tried to stop the clock there.
Yeah, I mean, like we've said, they have 3 timeouts. And it's almost down to the 2-minute mark, so I'm not quite sure what their method to the madness is.
And again, they need 2 scores. So when you're getting down this late in the ball game with the clock ticking down 2:03, after this play, we're going to be under 2 minutes now. So Petal doing a wonderful job. And it is 3rd and 5. Handoff inside. Rain will gain only 1, maybe 2 on the carry.
On the carry for Petal, number 20, John
And I think
that was Wyndham, rather. And the clock's still running.
I'm not quite sure what the deal is. The Panthers are going to be perfectly fine with sending this one over to Madison Central. I don't know.
There's still 15 on the play clock. The game clock's already down under 1:30. I know that they need to score some points, but you're not going to leave yourself with much time.
Right.
There's 1 minute and 20 seconds left and ticking, and Coach Boyles is going to go ahead and call a timeout here for Petal. So the clock's run all the way down to 1 minute and 16 seconds left, and let's try and figure this one out. So Petal's got the ball at the 49-yard line of Madison Central. Petal leading 35-21. There's only 1 minute and 16 seconds left in the ball game, and shockingly, even if Madison Central gets the ball here, they're going to have roughly about a minute, maybe just a few seconds over, a minute remaining. They're going to have to, obviously, unless they get a big return, go the length of the field. Petal's got the ball on their side of the 50. And they need 2 scores.
Right, yeah, not just 1, 2 touchdowns in 1 minute and 16 seconds.
I'm really not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what Coach Hall has in mind. According to the scoreboard here, they do have all 3 of their timeouts, and I don't remember Madison Central using a timeout in the ball game. Good to see Reynolds out there to kick, so obviously he got that cramp worked out. That's definitely a positive to see him out there again. We need him. Another final, PCS 29-7 over Columbia Academy. So another final here from the Pine Belt. Reynolds gets a kick away. It's a beautiful kick, takes a bounce and goes out of bounds perfectly at the 10-yard line. You can't ask for more from your punter to punt the ball, that coffin corner. It goes out of bounds at the 10. So there's 1 minute and 7 seconds left. Madison Central's going to go get the ball. They have to go 90 yards and score, and they have to get the ball back and score again.
Right.
With all 3 timeouts left.
Well, maybe they're planning on a couple big plays in a row. I guess. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
I guess the thing that shocked me more than anything, Petal started that drive. There was about 3.5 to 3:40 remaining on the game clock. So Petal, who did not pick up a first down on that possession, on that last series of downs, was able to run 2.5 minutes off the clock.
Right. I mean, you would have figured at least at the beginning of the 4th down they would have called the timeout.
Schwartz pass out in the flat is incomplete. He was looking for his target about 10 yards downfield. It's incomplete, and there's only 1:03 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Second down for Madison Central.
So again, PCS victorious over Columbia Academy 29-7. Another score locally last we heard was 7-7 halftime. South Jones and Northeast Jones tied at 7. And South Panola losing to Hoover 35-10. So here's the pitch on the delay up to about the 25-yard line, 15 yards staying inside. That's Bull on the carry for Madison Central. And the clock stops here. Bourgeois in on the tackle for Petal. The clock will stop to move the chains. They're going to spot the ball at the 24-yard line, and the clock continues to run. So I don't know if I can remember ever watching a game at any level where a coach, and they may still burn their timeouts, but at this point in the game with only 40 seconds left, it's almost like they're waving the white towel.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It just almost seems like a
seam route is caught underneath. Number 18 on the reception, Keith Williams on the pitch and catch. This one will go for 13 yards up to the 38-yard line to move the chain. So again, the clock will stop to set the chains. 35 seconds remaining. Petal leading 35-21. And Petal is now 33 seconds away from improving to 2-1 on the season. Schwartz under a heavy rush is going to be, I thought he was going to be sacked. He avoids the sack, steps up and fires the ball out of bounds. But wow, some of the Petal fans you could see getting on the defense there. Looked like they could have wrapped him up for a sack, but good coverage downfield, nothing doing. 22 seconds remaining in this one.
Oh, the fans know what the Panthers are capable of, and they let the defense know that the game's not over until you hear the whistle blow.
That's exactly right. So here on 2nd down and 10 from the 38-yard line, low snap once again. Pass down the seam, wide open, tight end, and a great open field tackle down there. That was big, number 25, Bourgeois again. So a good job down the seam. It is going to go across midfield, and it's going to go down to the 44-yard line. Clock is got 14 seconds remaining on it, and I am absolutely blown away that this coach is going to leave all 3 of his timeouts on the field. I'm just shocked. Pass intended for the receiver, broken up out in the flat there. Good play by Slade Buckley, having a huge second half. A great job, made several huge key plays. So, folks, there's 5 seconds left in this ball game. Even if Madison Central here on this next play of 3rd and 10, or 2nd and 10 rather, were able to score, there's not going to be any time left on the clock to get the ball back.
Right. I mean,
so this is a victory for Petal.
I mean, they had so much time to call a timeout. It almost seems like they threw in the towel by the 4-minute mark, I guess.
Exactly. Back to pass. Pass is incomplete, and the clock hits triple zeros on the incompletion. And what does that mean? It is a Petal Panther victory. The final score from Panther Stadium, folks, Petal 35-21 victory over Madison Central. Travis, I've been around football a long time. I'm very shocked. We can't say it enough. Madison Central loses by 2 scores, but leaves all 3 timeouts on the board.
Right. I mean, there were a couple of official timeouts. The Panthers called 1 timeout themselves, and I between the 2 of us, the scoreboard keeper, surely we have to be missing something, because they had ample time to call any one of those 3 timeouts. And yeah, I mean, it's not like they were doing a bad job on that last drive. I mean, if they could have done that one more time with maybe two minutes on the clock, I mean, there's no telling what they could have done.
That's exactly right. Well, the teams are shaking hands right out on the Panther at the 50-yard line. Again, our final score, the Petal Panthers victorious in this one, 35-21 over Madison Central. Your Petal Panthers improved to 2-1 on the young season. Madison Central drops to 1-2. We're going to send it back to Barbara in the studio for just a quick message from our sponsors, and we'll be back to wrap this one up from Petal Panther Stadium. Petal wins 35-21. Barbara, back to you. Welcome back to Petal Panther Stadium. Travis, it's a victory. It's a red and white Petal Panther victory at home. It's against Madison Central, and it's a huge, huge win, huge 6A win. We can't say enough about how proud we are of these Petal Panthers. 35-21, our final score. What do you think about this game?
Well, I think, we started off a little bit slow on offense. We had what looked to be a little bit of miscommunication, and I think the big turning point was at halftime for the Panthers. We saw just a much stronger offense and a much stronger defense, just making play after play and really setting the tempo for the rest of the game. And I was impressed with how they came out in that second half.
Yeah, I can't say enough about the adjustments that Coach Boyles made to get this victory, get this defense really started off on the right foot to come out of the locker room in the second half. Again, Petal trailed 21-14 in the second half. They outscore Madison Central at home here 21-0. A huge, hard-fought victory. Can't be prouder of these Petal Panthers. 35-21 victory. Petal improves to 2-1 on the season. Madison Central again falls to 1-2. Don't write Madison Central off, of course. It's a young season and they're a good squad, and they'll win plenty of ball games. We'll be right back at it next week, Travis. Brookhaven will be invading Petal Panther Stadium at 7:30 Friday night. Brookhaven comes in. Petal trying to avenge the loss against Brookhaven from last season.
It's one of the big 3 losses we had in the first 4 games, I believe, of last season. Another good team. So hopefully we'll be able to, like you said, get a little bit of revenge.
We have another final score from the area, 21-7. South Jones victorious over Northeast. Big win for South Jones program. A little bit of a shocker there up in Jones County. Again, our final score, Petal Panthers 35. The Madison Central Jaguars 21. For Kyle Britt, Travis Ulrich, I'm Corey Tater. We'd like to thank you for watching online and listening at 93.1 WGDQ. We'll be right back at it next week. Thank you so much again for listening at home or listening online. Travis, any last shots you want to say?
I think I'm liking the way we are right now, especially if we can keep up the way we've been playing in the second half. It's early in the season, so I'm sure we're going to keep improving the rest of the way. We're playing a lot of good teams, like we've already said, and I'm definitely looking forward to our next game here in Petal next week.
Absolutely. It should be a good one next week. Again, for Kyle Britt and for Travis Ulrich, I'm Corey Tater on the call. We appreciate you listening. Petal Panthers victorious, improving to 2-1. Petal 35, Madison Central 21. You've been listening to Petal Panther Football on 93.1 WGDQ. Good night, everybody.